Chapter 453, Compensation for Mental Trauma, 2, Yes, yes. Darling nodded repeatedly and obediently. Old Zao walked to Leng Ruoxue and said happily, hee hee, darling. You're really too evil. But I like it. Hee hee. Darling smirked cockily, his beautiful silver eyes spinning non-stop. Who knew what he was thinking? Master, I'm going out for a while. Rise said after some thought and then slipped out directly. Ah. Rise, where are you going? Leng Ruoxue couldn't help asking. Hee hee, lass, don't worry. I'll follow and take a look, old Zao said excitedly. These beasts of hers were each more scheming than the other, so how could he miss such liveliness? I'll take a look too, Lin Liang said curiously. I'll go too. Feng Jing and the Feng family's first elder joined in the fun. Ah. Go ahead. Leng Ruoxue said helplessly. Alas. Why are these people so curious? In the blink of an eye, only Freak and Shu were left in the room. The others, including the beasts, all went out to join in the fun. Schwer, there's only the two of us. Freak looked at Leng Ruoxue and smiled seductively. Yes, that's right. Leng Ruoxue pretended to be stupid. Schwer, what should we do? Freak said alluringly, his bright starry eyes glowing at Leng Ruoxue. Sleep. I'm sleepy. Leng Ruoxue yawned lazily. Schwer. Freak stared at Leng Ruoxue aggrievedly, his face full of dissatisfaction. Leng Ruoxue also stared at Freak. The two of them stared at each other until Leng Qingtian and the others returned. Schwer, what are you two doing? Leng Qingtian asked curiously. Ah. We're competing to see who can stare longer. Leng Ruoxue found a random reason awkwardly. Grandpa, you came back so quickly. Leng Ruoxue continued, changing the subject. Yes. Leng Qingtian said happily with a mysterious smile on his face. Grandpa, what did you do? Leng Ruoxue asked curiously. Judging from the evil smiles on their faces, they definitely didn't do anything good. Hee hee, lass, we only spread the news that Sun Wei stole underwear. Old Zao said with a smile. Ah. Well done. Leng Ruoxue wiped the cold sweat off her forehead. Grandpa. Why did you become bad too? Back then, you were such an upright person. Master, many people in the city know this news now. Tomorrow, it will probably spread throughout Blue Cloud City. Rise said excitedly. Hee hee, doing bad things is addictive. Only people from Blue Cloud City know. Leng Ruoxue said thoughtfully. What? Lass, isn't it enough that everyone in Blue Cloud City knows? Old Zao widened his eyes in disbelief. Alas. It seemed like this small fuss of theirs wasn't enough for her. She was the real ruthless person. Of course not. Leng Ruoxue said with a naughty smile. Little Snowy, don't tell me you want everyone on the entire Boundless Heaven continent to know. Lan Ming said in disbelief. Yes. Leng Ruoxue nodded. Little Snowy, I have a way to let everyone on the Boundless Heaven continent know. Icy, who was sleeping in Leng Ruoxue's arms, opened his eyes. What are you going to do? Leng Ruoxue asked. Hee hee, watch me. Icy smiled evilly. Although he always had his eyes closed, he knew what had happened just now. Huh? Leng Ruoxue looked at Icy doubtfully, not knowing what he wanted to do. Icy cleared his throat and then roared out the window, Sun Wei from the Alchemist Association headquarters stole someone's underwear. The sound was so loud that it traveled far and wide, and it even echoed. Are you sure the entire continent can hear you? Leng Ruoxue wiped the cold sweat off her forehead speechlessly. Is this Icy's so-called way? Of course. This is my secret technique. It's called 1,000-mile sound transmission. It won't be a problem to spread it across the entire continent, Icy said with a face full of pride. Little Icy, You're amazing, old Zao praised with 2 drops of cold sweat dripping down his forehead. Hee hee, it's just child's play. Icy's little face was full of cockiness, and then he closed his eyes to sleep. Ah. It's getting late. Everyone, rest early. Leng Ruoxue said helplessly to everyone. Everyone nodded and then returned to their rooms to rest. The next morning, Leng Ruoxue and the others welcomed an unexpected guest before they woke up. Leng Ruoxue and Freak were the first to come to the living room. When she saw the old man waiting for them in the living room, she couldn't help saying, "Patriarch Lan, it's still early. Can't you come later?" "No," Lan Tao said irritably. "Then what do you want?" Leng Ruoxue asked speechlessly. She more or less understood this old man's character now. "You have to be responsible for me," Lan Tao said aggrievedly. "Boo-hoo. I really lost all my face this time." "Ah. What happened to you? Did you encounter a robber?" Leng Ruoxue asked in puzzlement while looking at Lan Tao, who was covered in dust and had tattered clothes and messy hair. "Humph. It's all that puppy's fault," Lan Tao said furiously. "Boo-hoo. That dog is really too much of a bully. You only have yourself to blame. You said you wanted to snatch him." Little Icy was just defending himself. Leng Ruoxue didn't pity him at all. Moreover, seeing Lan Tao in such a sorry state, she was already laughing in her heart. "What defending himself? Do you know where his sneeze sent me?" Lan Tao said through gritted teeth. "Boo-hoo, he was really pitiful. It took him 2 days to return to Blue Cloud City." Leng Ruoxue glanced at Lan Tao and said without sympathy, "Ah. How would I know if you didn't tell me?" Lan Tao was about to say something when he was interrupted. Chapter 454, Compensation for Mental Trauma. 3. Father, how did you become like this? Asked Lan Ming, who just rushed to the living room when he saw his father's tragic state. Ling Qingtian and the others followed closely behind. They were all stunned when they saw Lan Tao. Then they turned their heads in unison and covered their mouths to laugh. "You heartless baddies. Boo-hoo." Lan Tao felt wronged. Fortunately, he didn't go home first. Otherwise, his dignified image would have been ruined. "Father, don't worry. No one in the Lan family knows that you disappeared." Lan Ming comforted him. What he implied was that no one in the Lan family knew that he had embarrassed himself. Alas! Little Snowy is a seer. If the Lan family saw father like this, he would definitely have beaten me to death. "Oh. That's good." Lan Tao was relieved, but he felt that something was amiss no matter how he thought about it. "Father, come with me to change your clothes first." Lan Ming said helplessly. "Yeah. Bring me to change quickly. I want to bathe." Lan Tao said impatiently. After Lan Tao left the living room with Lan Ming, old Zao looked at everyone present and couldn't help asking curiously, "Guess where he fell?" "I smelled seawater on him." "He probably fell into the sea," Lin Liang guessed. "Sea? There aren't many seas on the boundless heaven continent. Moreover, they are all thousands of miles away." "Ah. Seems like that puppy's sneeze is quite powerful," the little old man praised. "Little Icy has already shown mercy." Leng Ruoxue didn't pity that old man from the Lan family at all. It wasn't so easy to have designs on Icy. "Hee hee, little Icy is really amazing," old Zao said excitedly. Icy's status in his heart had already risen to an unprecedented height. While Leng Ruoxue and the others were chatting, Lan Tao had already bathed, changed his clothes, and came to the living room with Lan Ming. Lan Tao sat down on a chair, looked at Leng Ruoxue and the others, cleared his throat, and said, "How do you intend to compensate me? How about letting little Icy sneeze a few more times?" Leng Ruoxue said calmly with a light smile. "Hee hee, lass, that's a good idea." Old Zao echoed. "I think that's a good idea too," the little old man also said. Alas! Lan Tao really didn't learn his lesson. Could Len Ruoxue and the others be at his disposal? No, I don't want this compensation. Lan Tao hurriedly said. He was a little afraid of the puppy and didn't dare to look down on him anymore. But I think this is the best idea. Where do you want to go? I'll get little Icy to send you there. Len Ruoxue said understandingly. Ah. No, no need. I have something to do. Goodbye. Lan Tao stood up as if someone was chasing after him and disappeared without a trace. Patriarch Lan is pretty fast. Len Ruoxue said with a smile. Hee, I think he's scared. Old Zhao gloated. There's still hope if he's fearful. I'm going to sleep for a while, Len Ruoxue said and left the living room with Freak. It was already afternoon when Len Ruoxue woke up naturally. She washed up simply and went to the dining hall with Freak. They found a window seat and sat down. The waiter quickly served the dishes. Just after taking 2 bites, she heard someone shout, "Fifth Miss is here." In the blink of an eye, only Len Ruoxue and Freak were left in the dining hall. Len Ruoxue frowned slightly when she heard the shout and saw everyone scattering like birds and beasts. She was a little displeased. Didn't the first elder of the Lan family say that he would restrain her? Why was she out again? You 2 ugly monsters, who allowed you to eat here? Get lost. Don't affect my appetite. Lan Ninger's voice sounded in their ears at this moment. You're the one who should scram. You've already affected our appetite, Miss Lan. Len Ruoxue glanced at Lan Ninger coldly. What did you say? How dare you say that to me? Lan Ninger roared furiously. Humph. She had been locked up by the first elder for more than 10 days because of these ugly monsters. She had to take revenge for this. Otherwise, how could she swallow this anger? I told you to scram. Don't affect our appetite. Don't you understand? Len Ruoxue said sympathetically. Humph. Do you know that this is our Lan family's territory? How dare you tell me to scram? You're really tired of living. Lan Ninger threatened. Len Ruoxue glanced at Lan Ninger and didn't waste her breath on her. She summoned her beasts and said, I'll leave it to you. Hee, little sister Ruoxue, don't worry. Leave this ugly monster to me, Feng Linger said. She was bored to death in the space and was just looking for someone to relieve her boredom when someone came knocking on her door. Len Ruoxue wiped the cold sweat off her forehead. Why did this violent woman come out? Moreover, why are most of the beasts that emerged actually female? Ah. What's going on? I obviously called darling. Big sister, I released them, Qing Ju said helplessly via voice transmission from the bracelet. Oh. Len Ruoxue answered softly. I knew it. My memory shouldn't be bad. Beloved master, leave this ugly monster to that violent bird. Darling said fearfully. After dealing with that man yesterday, they were taught a lesson by this little bird when they returned. She said that they had forgotten about her whenever they had something good. Ah. Big sister Linger, you can do it. Len Ruoxue wiped the cold sweat off her forehead and cheered. Alas. It seemed like Feng Linger was really too bored. She even wanted to make a move on such a small character. Of course. Feng Linger said with a smug smile. Then she spat out a stream of flames that coiled around Lan Ninger's body. Ah. I'm on fire. Hurry up and save me. Lan Ninger saw that her body was on fire and was so scared that she peed on the spot. Chapter 455, Compensation for Mental Trauma. 4. Her subordinates felt the temperature of the flames and saw the beasts glaring at them like they were prey not far away. They were so scared that they didn't dare to move at all. Miss Leng, please show mercy. She is the 5th young lady of the Lan family after all. The inn manager braced himself and appeared in front of Len Ruoxue to plead. He didn't like this 5th young lady at all, but he couldn't let her die in the inn. Manager, don't worry. My beasts know their limits. Moreover, your Lan family's first elder promised me that I could deal with any Lan family member who provoked me. Leng Ruoxue gave the manager a reassuring look and comforted him. Ah. All right then. The manager was speechless and simply left the inn. Out of sight, out of mind. At this moment, Feng Linger felt that it was about time. She retracted her southern spirit flame, grabbed a teapot on the dining table with her little claw, and poured the water inside onto Lan Ninger. Lan Ninger's pitch-black body, which had been burned by the fire, immediately revealed its original appearance after being watered. She was naked from head to toe, and even her hair had been burned away. Hee, little sister Ruoxue, big sister did a good deed and trimmed the excess hair on her body. Don't blame big sister. Feng Linger said guiltily as though she was being too nosy. Ah. It's only right to do good deeds. But her subordinates probably won't be able to bring her back to the Lan family estate. You should do your good deed to the end and send her back. Leng Ruoxue said after some thought. Okay. Leave this to big sister. Feng Linger got a rope out of nowhere and tied Lan Ninger up. Then she tied one end of the rope to her claw and flew around the inn. Little sister Ruoxue, this thing is actually heavier than a pig. But I can still carry it, Feng Linger said with some dissatisfaction. That's good. Leng Ruoxue nodded. Sisters, let's do something good and send this trash from the Lan family back. Feng Linger said to the fire phoenixes and silver wolves who came out with her. Okay, well listen to big sister Linger, the female beasts said excitedly. Usually, they would watch Darling and the other beasts show their might. Today, they finally had a chance to perform. Ha! Little sister Ruoxue, we're going. Then Feng Linger left the inn with Lan Ninger in tow. The other beasts did the same and tied Lan Ninger's subordinates into dumplings with ropes. Then they dragged them and left closely behind Feng Linger. Beloved master, they are all tigresses. We can't provoke them, Darling couldn't help saying fearfully when he saw the female beasts leaving. Ha! Leng Ruoxue caressed Darling's fur and smiled gently. Swear, aren't we going to watch the commotion? Freak asked curiously. No, the Lan family will deliver themselves to our door later, Leng Ruoxue said understandingly. Humph. If she guessed correctly, this had to be Lan Tao's doing. Then let's continue eating. Freak nodded. Okay. Let's eat quickly. The Lan family will be coming to settle the score later. Leng Ruoxue said expectantly. After dinner, Leng Ruoxue and Freak returned to their room and waited for the Lan family to come. At the same time, in the Lan family estate. In Lan Tao's study, Lan Tao and Lan Hong were staring at each other. The third elder of the Lan family was sitting calmly in a chair, holding a cup of tea and drinking it as if no one was around. Why did you let Lan Ninger out? First elder Lan Hong roared with some displeasure after staring for a while. She's been locked up for more than 10 days. This punishment should be enough. Lan Tao said nonchalantly. Humph. I think you just want to see the world burn. You will definitely regret it, the first elder gloated. How could Leng Ruoxue and the others be so easy to deal with? A single Lan Ninger would probably never return. But he didn't care. Anyway, he didn't like Lan Ninger much. He didn't care about Lan Ninger's life or death at all. Lan Ninger is from the Lan family after all. Leng Ruoxue won't dare to do anything to her, Lan Tao said nonchalantly. Are you sure? Lan Hong wasn't angry anymore. Instead, he chuckled. He didn't think that Leng Ruoxue wouldn't dare to do anything to Lan Ninger. After all, His Excellency Du Min was on their side. Ah. However, his eldest brother should know that His Excellency Du Min was with Leng Ruoxue and the others, right? Of course. Lan Tao was very confident. No one would dare not to give the Lan family face on the boundless heaven continent. But he would very quickly find out that he had miscalculated. Then I wish you good luck. Lan Hong was speechless. His eldest brother was sometimes like a child. He wouldn't turn back unless he hit a wall. By the way, why was Sun Wei injured? Lan Tao asked in puzzlement. He hadn't been home for 2 days. Why did Sun Wei get injured? Fortunately, he wasn't injured in their Lan family estate. Otherwise, they really wouldn't know how to deal with it. His Excellency Du Min was famous for being protective of his loved ones. I heard that he was injured because he stole someone's underwear. Lan Hong suppressed his smile. Yesterday, everyone in Blue Cloud City had heard that voice. After that, President Ren returned to the Lan family estate with the bloody and bruised Sun Wei. Today, the news of Sun Wei being injured spread across the entire continent like bamboo shoots after rain. Ah! Sun Wei is a master alchemist, but he actually stole underwear. It's really too embarrassing. Lan Tao sighed repeatedly. Pfft! The third elder spat out the tea in his mouth and coughed non-stop after hearing what the patriarch said. Third elder, you're already so old. Why are you still spraying tea? You're really too careless. Lan Tao shook his head, his face full of helplessness. The third elder wiped the cold sweat off his forehead, his heart racing. Isn't that because your thoughts are too foolish? Anyone who wasn't a fool could guess that Sun Wei must have offended someone. Otherwise, how could he be so miserable? Hee. Serves him right for bullying my grandson. Lan family, come out quickly to collect your trash. Suddenly, a roar resounded through the entire Lan family estate. Chapter 456, Compensation for Mental Trauma, 5. Trash. What trash? How could our Lan family have something like that? The third elder said nonchalantly when he heard the roar. That's right. Our Lan family is full of treasures. How could we have trash? Lan Tao said angrily. But he didn't take it too seriously. Such a small matter wasn't worth him, the patriarch, stepping in. The elders would handle it. Yes, our Lan family only has a few pieces of trash, the first elder said meaningfully. What did you say? Those people are also your nephew and granddaughter. Lan Tao roared. Of course, he knew who Lan Hong was talking about, but he didn't like Lan Hong saying it in a gloating tone. It was really too annoying. Big brother, are you really sure that they're the descendants of our Lan family? Lan Hong asked uncertainly. He had always felt that the Lan family's genetic inheritance was good. Why did it go bad when it came to Lan Fei? Probably. Lan Tao said uncertainly. They didn't crawl out of his stomach, so how would he know? Ah! Lan Hong was speechless. Big brother, can you not be so silly? But speaking of which, other than Tianer and Minger, I really don't find the characteristics of our Lan family in Big Brother's other sons. Patriarch, bad news. Some beasts are here to cause trouble. A guard of the Lan family came to report anxiously. There are actually beasts that dare to cause trouble in our Lan family's home? How bold! First Elder Lan Hong said eagerly. Hee, this old bag of bones of mine hasn't exercised for a long time. I just happened to have a chance today. Let's go out and take a look, the third elder said with interest. Let's go. Lan Tao was the first to stand up. The three extremely bored old men looked at each other and walked out of the study together. After arriving at the main courtyard, the three of them looked up at the several huge fiery red birds flying in the sky, their bodies burning with raging flames, and were a little dumbfounded. Damn, this is... Patriarch, these firebirds are really too much. They actually dare to cause trouble in our Lan family's home. We can't let them go. The second elder, who was covered in dirt, walked to the side of the three of them and said with hatred. Damn it. He had lived for so long, but today, he was actually embarrassed by these few birds. Second elder, what happened to you? Where's your hair and beard? The third elder held back his smile and pretended to be stupid. Ha, the second elder's current appearance is really too funny. He would have rolled on the ground if he didn't have to consider the face of the elders. At this moment, the second elder's hair, beard, and eyebrows were all gone. His clothes were pitch black, hanging on his body like a rag with smoke coming out. Second elder, how did you end up in such a miserable state? The first elder said speechlessly. In fact, he was laughing in his heart. It's all because of those damn firebirds. They captured the fifth young lady and even came to our Lon family to cause trouble. I ended up in such a sorry state in order to protect our Lon family's reputation, the second elder said with a bitter face. What he implied was, I did all this for the Lon family. You can't laugh at me. Firebirds, your head. Do you know what kind of beasts they are? Lon Tao roared as he slapped the second elder's bald head furiously. Aren't they just a few firebirds? Humph. They actually dare to pretend to be fire phoenixes. However, firebirds are firebirds. It's impossible to become a fire phoenix even if they look alike, the second elder said with a face full of disdain. Open your dog eyes wide and look carefully. They are genuine fire phoenixes. Lon Tao roared furiously. They would have killed them if they were firebirds, but these were obviously female fire phoenixes of the Fire Phoenix clan. Even though their Lon family was a super family, he didn't dare to kill them. Otherwise, if the Fire Phoenix clan knew about it, it would mean endless trouble. Patriarch. Are you sure? The second elder asked in disbelief. At the same time, he was a little scared. But he also couldn't help wondering why their flames were so weak if these birds were really fire phoenixes. They only burned his hair and beard. Open your eyes wide and see clearly. The flames on firebirds don't have a seven-colored light. Lon Tao reminded. Although firebirds resembled fire phoenixes, and both had flames on their bodies, these two flames were incomparable. They were not on the same level at all. They are really fire phoenixes. The third elder raised his head and observed carefully after hearing what the patriarch said. With a look, he found that it was indeed as the patriarch said. They were fire phoenixes. Moreover, there was a silver wolf on each of their backs, and there seemed to be something tied to their claws. But they flew too high, so only a small black dot could be seen. Lon Tao looked at the sky and said very politely, May I know your names? Feng Linger. Feng Linger said with displeasure. Humph. They sent these people back to the Lon family out of goodwill, but who knew that the Lon family was actually unreasonable and attacked them without a word? It was really infuriating. Miss Feng, may I know why you came to our Lon family? Lon Tao asked, fully displaying the dignity of the patriarch. I'm here to deliver trash to you. This is garbage from your family. Feng Linger waved the rope in her claws. Trash? What trash? Lon Tao asked in puzzlement. Feng Linger gave another fire phoenix a look, and with a plop, a piece of trash fell from the sky. Isn't this the fifth young lattice guard? His body is so sturdy. The third elder praised as he looked at the guard who was still breathing despite falling from the sky. Ah! The first elder was speechless after hearing the third elder's conclusion. Miss Feng, please tell me why you're here. Lon Tao had a sudden realization after seeing the guard. But he didn't expect Len Ruoxue to be related to the Phoenix clan. This really surprised him. I originally sent this trash back to your Lon family out of goodwill. Unfortunately, not only did your Lon family not appreciate my kindness, but they actually dared to attack us. Humph. I'm angry, so I won't give these people to you. If you want them back, redeem them with money. 100 million purple gold coins per person, and 1 billion for this female. Feng Linger roared furiously. Humph. Did they really think a fire phoenix was a bird if it didn't show its might? Chapter 457, compensation for mental trauma. 6. Big sister Linger, they bullied us so much. Are we going to only get such little compensation? A fire phoenix said with some dissatisfaction. Ah. It's a little too little. What else do you want? Fong Linger asked. I want herbs, lots of herbs. I want a lot of ores and materials. And all sorts of good treasures. The few beasts began talking at once. Moreover, a black line would appear on Lan Tao's forehead with every word they said. The second elder almost vomited blood from anger when he heard what the fire phoenixes said and couldn't help roaring, You're clearly robbing us. You're mistaken. We were originally doing a good deed, but you got someone to attack us. We've sustained mental trauma, so you have to compensate us for it. This is all your fault. Fong Linger said resentfully. Lan Tao glared at the second elder and then negotiated with Fong Linger. You want too many things. Can you ask for less? Is it a lot? Your Lan family is one of the 3 great families. Don't you have at least this bit of money? Fong Linger asked in disbelief. Big sister Linger, I think this Lan family is just for show. They probably can't take out so much money. Why don't we take pity on them and charge them less for our mental trauma? Just treat it as us stepping on a dead rat outside and admitting our bad luck, a silver wolf said very kindly, but her words infuriated the Lan family below. I see. But, Fong Linger was a little hesitant and unwilling. With no one guarding the door, Lan Fei ran out of his room and heard the silver wolf's words as soon as he arrived at the main courtyard. He roared at the top of his lungs in anger, who said that our Lan family is poor? Our Lan family has a lot of money, you furred beasts. Boo-hoo. Big sister Linger, he called me a beast. The silver wolf immediately wailed with tears in her eyes. Ah. Don't cry. Don't cry. He's the beast. He's a bastard. Fong Linger comforted while scolding. Big sister Linger, my fragile little heart has been seriously injured. I demand compensation for mental trauma, the silver wolf said pitifully with tears in her eyes. No problem. Big sister will get it for you. Fong Linger said very loyally. Bastard, you made my sister cry. You have to compensate her. Fong Linger roared. You damn bird, you are, Lan Fei was about to scold back. But after saying a few words, he was knocked unconscious by Lan Tao. Old man, since you knocked out that bastard, you will compensate on his behalf, Fong Linger roared angrily. Okay, I'll pay, Lan Tao said angrily. He also glared at the Lan family members who wanted to laugh but didn't dare to, feeling incomparably depressed. Old man, that bastard hurt my sister's fragile heart, so compensate us with 1 billion purple gold coins, and we won't care anymore. Fong Linger said generously. You're clearly robbing up. The second elder couldn't help speaking again. He hated these birds in his heart. These birds were actually robbing the Lan family, but they were helpless against them. This fact was really depressing. TCH, so what if we're robbing you? Moreover, this isn't robbery. This is called compensation, understand? You're uncultured. Go back and study before coming out. Save yourself from being a disgrace. Fong Linger said disdainfully. You, the second elder was so angry that he couldn't breathe. He kicked his legs and fainted directly. Alas! Your mental fortitude is really too poor. You have to train. Fong Linger said with some pity. Come, carry the second elder away, Lan Tao ordered speechlessly. For the compensation you want, money is fine, but we don't have so many items. Lan Tao said to Fong Linger. His greatest wish now was to quickly send these plague gods away. Otherwise, he couldn't guarantee that he wouldn't kill them if they stayed for a while. Really? Fong Linger asked doubtfully. Of course. Lan Tao's expression was very sincere. All right. Not a single cent less. As for the things, Just compensate us with as much as you have. Feng Linger relented and agreed. Okay, give me some time. I need to collect the money, Lan Tao said. No problem. I'll give you 3 days. Send the money to the inn 3 days later. In addition, I'll take these people back first. Feng Linger led the group and flew out of the Lan family estate after speaking. Patriarch, are you really going to compensate them for mental trauma? They're just birds, an elder couldn't help asking. Alas. Their Lan family was actually being bullied. They were really too cowardly. They are fire phoenixes. Do you have any other way? Lan Tao asked instead of answering. I don't, the elder whispered, not daring to speak anymore. Listen up. No one is allowed to provoke those fire phoenixes in the future. We can settle it with money this time, but it might not necessarily be so next time. Lan Tao warned everyone. Yes, the Lan family members present replied in unison. Patriarch, I'm going to the inn to see Ling Ruoxue, the first elder said. Okay. Lan Tao nodded in agreement. After speaking, the first elder left the Lan family estate with the third elder and went straight to the inn. Come out. Lan Tao roared into the corner after the first elder and third elder left. Humph. Damn brat, how dare you run out by yourself? Ha! Lan Lai laughed wildly as he emerged from the darkness. Of course, Leng Wudi and Sun Teng were with him. Damn brat, what are you laughing about? Lan Tao roared furiously. He was really displeased to see his grandson's smug laughter. I'm laughing because you have a bastard son. Ha! Then won't you be an old bastard? Lan Lai smiled tactlessly. He was so happy. This old man actually ordered people to lock him up, causing him not to see little Icy for several days. Boo-hoo. Damn brat, if I'm an old bastard, then you're an old bastard's grandson. Lan Tao retaliated, unwilling to be outdone. Humph. This stinky brat wants to fight with me? You're still too inexperienced. Chapter 458, Repaying the Debt with My Body. 1. The Lan family members who had yet to leave found an excuse to leave after hearing the conversation between the grandfather and grandson so as not to be implicated and become their punching bags. Humph. I'm not a bastard grandson. Lan Lai refused to admit it. Brat, if I say you are you, then you are. Lan Tao said domineeringly. Old man, you've knocked out your bastard son, and your bastard granddaughter is in the hands of those fire phoenixes, so don't acknowledge relatives wrongly. Lan Lai said without giving him any face. He really admired Leng Ruoxue now. Why were her beasts so powerful? Damn brat, what did you say? Lan Tao roared with widened eyes. Ha, I'm going to see little Icy. Lan Lai immediately summoned his beast and quickly flew out of the Lan family estate. Humph. He had escaped with much difficulty and didn't have time to bicker with this old man. Seeing Lan Lai flying away, Leng Wudi and Sun Teng also summoned their beast pets and left the Lan family estate under Lan Tao's angry gaze. At this moment, the first elder and the third elder were on the way to the inn where Leng Ruoxue and the others were staying. First elder, what should we say to Leng Ruoxue when we get there? The third elder couldn't help asking. He really hadn't expected that there were fire phoenixes with Leng Ruoxue. I don't know either. The first elder was a little troubled. Alas. The second elder offended those fire phoenixes, and they requested compensation, so it was probably impossible not to bleed money. Then why are we going? The third elder asked in puzzlement. To bond with her. The first elder thought of a good reason. Everyone around Leng Ruoxue had dragons as their pet beast, and she had fire phoenixes. Alas! What powerful combat strength this was! Therefore, they had to take it seriously and reconsider Leng Ruoxue's value. At the residence of Leng Ruoxue and the others, Feng Linger and the other beasts had returned to the inn. little sister Ruoxue. Feng Linger casually threw Lan Ninger onto the ground, transformed into a small bird, and landed on Leng Ruoxue's shoulder. Big sister Linger, you've worked hard, Leng Ruoxue comforted. She knew that Feng Linger had suffered a lot when she went to the Lan family, so she was very displeased. Not at all. It's just that the Lan family doesn't know what's good for them. They actually attacked us. However, that damn old man isn't any better. I burned all his hair and beard. Feng Linger said proudly. Ha, lass, your pet beasts are really amazing. The Lan family is going to bleed a lot this time, the old man, who had gone to the Lan family estate to watch the commotion, said excitedly as soon as he returned to the inn. Hee hee, lass, we're going to make a fortune again, old Zhao said happily. They had been in the inn just now, but they had rushed to the Lan family estate immediately after seeing the fire phoenixes transform into their true forms. They hadn't expected to see such a spectacular scene. What's the reaction of the Lan family? Leng Ruoxue asked. She didn't believe that the Lan family would obediently send money to her door. She had stayed in the inn just now and didn't go to the Lan family to watch the commotion. But she knew what the beasts had done because of her contracts with them. The only thing she didn't know was the reaction of the Lan family. Lan Tao has already agreed. He shouldn't go back on his word, old Zhao said after some thought. If I'm not mistaken, the first elder should be on the way here, Leng Ruoxue said in understanding. Ha, little Snowy, you're right. Lan Lai's voice sounded in everyone's ears. Why are you here? Leng Ruoxue asked lightly with a slight frown. She hadn't seen Lan Lai for a few days, and she had thought that he wouldn't come again. Boo-hoo. Little Snowy, you despise me. Lan Lai's eyes welled up with tears as he pretended to be pitiful. Yes. Did you just know? Leng Ruoxue said with a light smile. Boo-hoo. Little Snowy, I'm here to give you information. How can you do this to me? Lan Lai said pitifully, looking extremely aggrieved. You're from the Lan family. Are you so impatient to betray them? Leng Ruoxue said speechlessly. The way this pair of Lan family grandfather and grandchild interacted was really different. Hee hee, how do you know? Lan Lai said shyly. His greatest wish in life was to see the old man suffer. I guessed, Leng Ruoxue said. Hee hee, little Snowy, let me see little Icy. Lan Lai pleaded. This was his main purpose for coming here. Little Icy is sleeping on the bed. But don't wake him up. He hasn't been in a good mood these 2 days, Leng Ruoxue reminded helplessly. Yes, I know. I'll just watch from the side, Lan Lai promised. Then he crept to the bed, sat down, and stared at Icy, who was sleeping soundly on the bed. Seeing Lan Lai's affectionate appearance, Leng Ruoxue thought, Lan Lai doesn't really have any improper thoughts about little Icy, does he? Hopefully not. Otherwise, little Icy will bite him to death. While Leng Ruoxue was letting her imagination run wild, the first elder and the third elder arrived. The two of them greeted everyone in the room and then turned their gazes to Leng Ruoxue. Leng Ruoxue looked at the two old men who entered the room and asked bluntly, May I know why first elder and third elder are here? Ah. Lass, a few fire phoenixes and silver wolves just went to our Lan family. They are your pet beasts, right? The first elder glanced at Lan Ninger, who had been casually thrown to the ground with only a rag covering her body, and the corner of his mouth twitched. Yes, Lan Ninger came to find trouble with me and was taught a lesson by my beasts. I saw that they didn't have the ability to return to the Lan family estate by themselves, so I got big sister Linger to visit you and planned to send them back to you. However, it seems like they had a conflict with someone from your Lan family, Leng Ruoxue said coldly. This is all a misunderstanding, the first elder said helplessly. I don't know if it's a misunderstanding. However, they originally wanted to do a good deed, but I didn't expect such a thing to happen. My beasts are very sad. They even told me just now that their fragile hearts have been hurt. Leng Ruoxue said with slight dissatisfaction, her face full of blame for the Lan family. Chapter 459, Repaying the Debt with My Body, 2, the first elder was speechless. Ha, little girl, we can be considered acquaintances. Can you not fuss about it on our account? The third elder braced himself and said. Elders, I remember telling you to restrain some people from your Lan family and not let them out. Otherwise, they will be at my disposal. You also promised me that you wouldn't protect them, right? Leng Ruoxue didn't answer the third elder's question but asked directly. Ah. Yes, but we didn't cover for them. Weren't they already at your disposal? The third elder quibbled shamelessly. But what I want to know is, why did Lan Ninger come to find trouble with me? I heard that she has already been locked up by the first elder. Leng Ruoxue looked at the first elder doubtfully and asked. She ran out by herself. The third elder wiped the cold sweat off his forehead and pushed all the blame onto Lan Ninger. Alas! He couldn't say that Big Brother let Lan Ninger out in order to teach Leng Ruoxue a lesson, right? Little Snowy, third grandpa is lying to you. That damn old man deliberately let Lan Ninger out to cause you trouble, Lan Lai suddenly said, exposing the third elder's lie. Oh! Leng Ruoxue looked at the third elder with a spurious smile and said indifferently. You stinky brat, are you a traitor? The third elder was so angry. He ignored everything else and chased after Lan Lai in the room. I'm telling the truth. Didn't you teach me that good children shouldn't lie? Lan Lai fled aggrievedly, covering his head and hiding everywhere. Finally, he ran behind the little old man to seek protection. Senior, don't protect him. I want to teach this traitor a lesson, the third elder said very respectfully. He already knew the little old man's identity, so he naturally didn't dare to be rude in front of the little old man. Teach him a lesson. I think he's right. He's a child. Honesty is a virtue. You have to teach him a lesson only if he's not honest, the little old man said meaningfully. Ah! 2 drops of cold sweat dripped down the third elder's forehead. His heart was racing as he thought, could the dishonest child be referring to me? Boo-hoo. He was also forced into a corner. This was all a mess caused by the patriarch finding trouble for no reason. Third grandpa, you can't run away if you did something wrong. Don't hide it for that old man. Lan Lai was being even bolder since someone was backing him up. Stinky brat, that's your biological grandfather. The third elder couldn't help roaring. Humph. I call him old man in front of him. Lan Lai said nonchalantly. Alright, go back to your Lan family if you want to argue or fight. Now, first elder, third elder, you have to give me an explanation, Leng Ruoxue said coldly. She was unwilling to become the sacrificial lamb for the battle between the Lan family's grandfather and granddaughter, so she would not let go of the benefits that should be gained. Ah! The first elder and third elder were stunned. Did they hear it right? Leng Ruoxue actually wanted an explanation from them. What explanation? Little girl, what explanation do you want us to give you? The first elder asked foolishly. Was he really old? Why couldn't he understand what this little girl was saying? Shouldn't you give me an explanation for breaking your promise? I thought that the Lan family had always valued integrity the most. Isn't that so? Leng Ruoxue looked at the 2 Lan family elders doubtfully and said slowly. Of course, but, this isn't a breach of trust, right? First elder wiped the cold sweat off his forehead and quibbled. Oh, then I'm afraid it depends on the person. Anyway, in my opinion, if you didn't do what you promised me, you would be breaking your promise to me. Of course, I don't care if you don't think so, Leng Ruoxue said nonchalantly, her face full of understanding of the 2 of them. Little girl, what do you want then? The third elder said speechlessly. He realized today that this little girl was really too difficult to deal with. No wonder she dared to pry into the corner of their Lan family and dared to teach the Lan family a lesson. There is a rule in my hometown. If one party breaks the agreement, the other party has to pay for the breach of contract, Len Ruoxue said with a smile, her expression so sincere. Breach of contract? The two shrewd old men finally understood. This was asking for more money. This little girl's beast had already taken a lot of money from the Lan family. Why didn't this girl intend to let the two of them go? It was too despicable. This little girl was really a vampire. Yes, you need to pay for your breach of contract, Len Ruoxue said calmly. We don't have money, the two old men said in unison, deciding to collectively cheat. No money. It's okay. You can work to repay my debts if you don't have money. Len Ruoxue said with a light smile. Ah. Work to repay debts. The two old men were dumbfounded. What did she mean by working to repay their debts? Did she mean working for this little girl? Working, as the name implies, that you will work for me in the future until you pay off the debts you owe me. Moreover, I won't be paying for your accommodation nor food. Len Ruoxue knew that these two old men definitely didn't know what work was, so she explained it to them directly. Ah. How long do we have to work for you? The first elder couldn't help asking. He finally understood that Len Ruoxue wanted them to be her subordinates. That will depend on your working ability. If your abilities are too poor, I'm afraid you will have to work for life, Len Ruoxue said very understandingly. These two old men were from the Lan family and were esteemed elders. They would definitely not do manual work. A lifetime? How much do we owe you in total? The third elder then remembered that he had not asked the most important question. They still did not know how much money they owed Len Ruoxue. He would not want to work for others if it was not much. 2 billion purple coins. Len Ruoxue stretched out 2 fingers. What? You're robbing us openly. Why would we owe you so much money? The first elder roared angrily. It's all because of your high status. Ordinary people don't have to pay so much if they break the contract, but you're different. With your status, I even gave you a discount. 1 billion each, a total of 2 billion. Len Ruoxue explained. Chapter 460, Repaying the Debt with My Body, 3. If you don't have money to pay, then work to pay off your debts. Of course, if you don't want to pay back your money and don't want to work, an ordinary citizen like me can't do anything to you. However, your reputation will be completely destroyed. Len Ruoxue continued to remind them, blocking their way out. Eldest grandpa, third grandpa, you pay her the money. Lan Lai couldn't help but remind them. Hee, Len Ruoxue was really ruthless. These two old men were famous for their stinginess in the Lan family. Getting them to take out 2 billion purple coins was harder than taking their lives. Stinky brat, where would we get so much money? The third elder roared angrily. You can ask that old man for it. Anyway, these things started because of him, Lan Lai said gloatingly, his tone as if the Lan family's money had nothing to do with him. Stinky brat, are you from the Lan family or not? The first elder couldn't help but scold him with a smile. How could this brat help outsiders? Of course I'm from the Lan family. However, I'm from the righteous Lan family. I'm on the side of justice, Lan Lai boasted shamelessly. In fact, he wanted to see the old man embarrassed. That was why he was on Len Ruoxue's side, hee. Stinky brat, just you wait. I'll deal with you when we get home. The first elder said angrily. Alas, the fee for the breach of contract you want is too much. Can you reduce it? Third elder sighed heavily and negotiated. Sure. However, the amount of money for the breach of contract is determined by your identity and status. You can pay less if you think your identity and status are not worth so much money, Len Ruoxue said indifferently. The first elder and the third elder were speechless again because they realized that they couldn't out-talk Len Ruoshua at all. Moreover, she had said everything. If they requested to reduce the penalty fee, they would be degrading themselves. Therefore, they could only blame their bad luck. Moreover, I've said it before. If you want to renege on your debt, I can't do anything to you either. At most, it'll let the people of the boundless heaven continent know that the two Lan family's esteemed elders don't repay their debts. Len Ruoshua said without fear. Lass, aren't you afraid that we will kill you to silence you? The first elder threatened. No. Before you kill me, the news of you not paying your debts and silencing me will spread first, Len Ruoshua said nonchalantly. She knew that these two old men would not casually kill people. Moreover, she had so many secret means, what was there to be afraid of? The two old men completely wilted at Len Ruoxia's words. Alas! They knew that this little girl was not afraid of them at all, and they were not evil and bloodthirsty people. Moreover, this matter was indeed their fault, so they really couldn't do anything to these people. However, they were unwilling to be robbed of 2 billion purple coins just like that. Lass, we really don't have money. Why don't we work for you? The two old men looked at each other and made their final decision. Okay. Then let's officially start work now. However, you have to start from the lowest level, Len Ruoshua said after some thought. No problem, the two old men answered readily. Grandpa, these two elders of the Lan family will be our servants from now on. Tell them if anyone needs anything. There's no need to be polite, Len Ruoshua said to everyone present. Okay. I happen to be lacking an attendant by my side. Old man Zhao said happily. Yes, I need one too, Lin Liang said. I want a medicine boy. I don't know if they are up to the task, Zheng En said with some frustration. He looked up and down at the first elder and the third elder, as if he was thinking about which of them was more suitable. Silly boy, how are they qualified to be medicine boys? They don't even differentiate between grass and medicine. If they spoil those precious herbs, I think they will have to pay with their next life as well, the little old man said very cooperatively. Master is right. They should still be servants. Zheng En nodded in realization. Everyone's words made the first elder and third elder break out in cold sweat. They muttered in their hearts, were they that bad? They could only be servants instead of anything else. Little girl, how much is our monthly pay? Third elder asked with a few black lines hanging on his forehead. Grandpa Do, what's the price for servants on the boundless heaven continent? Len Ruoshua turned to look at the little old man and asked. That's hard to say. For a super family like the Lan family, the monthly pay given to servants is very high because they have a big family and business. An ordinary servant probably has 10 purple coins a month. For a small family, 1 purple coin is the limit, the little old man said very cautiously after thinking. Oh, I see. Then we can't even be considered a small family. Just 500 amethyst dollars a month then. Len Ruoshua said after some thought. 500. The third elder's eyes widened in disbelief. Did he hear it wrong? Did this little girl say 500? And in amethyst coins? The mighty third elder of the Lan family working for her was only worth 500 amethyst coins. Lass, we are the elders of the Lan family. Is this all we are worth? The first elder asked in disbelief. He had never thought that he would be so cheap at this age. Boo-hoo. So what if you're an elder of the Lan family? You're here to work for me, not to enjoy life. Moreover, you've lived like royalty since you were young. Do you know how to work? Do you know how to serve others? Len Ruoshua asked in return. The first elder was speechless. They really didn't know how to serve others. Little girl. I admit that we don't know how to do these things, but you can arrange some other work for us. We can still be your bodyguards or something, third elder said. I don't need a bodyguard. I have little Icy. None of you can compare to it, Leng Ruoxue said honestly. Ah. Lass, I'm a mighty mystic sovereign, how can I be inferior to a puppy? The third elder couldn't help asking. Boo-hoo. His self-esteem was hurt. Chapter 461, Repaying the Debt with My Body. 4. You can't compare to it. Go back and ask your patriarch if you don't believe me. Leng Ruoxue said with a naughty smile. Ah. What did this mean? The two old men were a little confused. You'll know when you go back and ask him. Today is your first day on duty. Go back now. Come early tomorrow to wait for orders, Leng Ruoxue said very kindly. Oh, well, be leaving first then. First elder and third elder left the inn gloomily. The two of them were still pondering how on earth did things become like this on the way back. What were they here for? Now, they were completely confused, and they couldn't think of the main reason for going to see Leng Ruoxue. The only thing they knew was that they had implicated themselves. At the residence of Leng Ruoxue and the others. Little Snowy, do you really intend to let the first elder and the third elder work for you? Lan Ming, who had been silent since the two old men left, couldn't help asking. He really admired Leng Ruoxue. The patriarch and elders of the Lan family couldn't do anything to her. Of course not. What can those two old men do? However, since they can't bear to part with the money, they have to repay the debt with their bodies, Leng Ruoxue said without any sympathy. In fact, she was already laughing in her heart. Hee, little Snowy, you're really too amazing. You can actually make them suffer. Teach me. Lan Lai ran to Leng Ruoxue and looked at her with admiration, his bright black eyes blinking non-stop. Do you want your grandfather to suffer so much? Leng Ruoxue asked speechlessly. She really didn't know what they were thinking. Yes. That old man has liked to cause trouble for me since young and drag me down. He always wreaks havoc on things I like, so our relationship isn't good at all, Lan Lai said angrily. He really hated that old man to death. But that's not what I saw. Leng Ruoxue said in realization. In her opinion, the patriarch of the Lan family loved this grandson very much. She just didn't know what irreconcilable conflicts existed between them, so it created the way they interacted with each other now. Moreover, the patriarch and the two elders of the Lan family didn't fly into a rage out of humiliation when she robbed them of so much money. There was probably some reason for Lan Lai's behavior, and this was enough to show how important he was in their hearts. You're mistaken. You don't understand that old man at all. You've never seen him. Lan Lai said indignantly. He had known that old man for more than 20 years. How could he not understand what kind of person that old man was? Who said I haven't seen him? I've seen him previously, Leng Ruoxue said helplessly. She couldn't be bothered to argue with Lan Lai's stubbornness. When did you see him? Why don't I know about it? Lan Lai said with some displeasure. What did that old man want? Did he want to interfere with his friendship again? I saw him a few days before you came, Leng Ruoxue said. Ah. Did he say anything nasty? Lan Lai said worriedly. That stinky old man had always been blunt with his friends. No, he's just here to see little Icy. Leng Ruoxue sighed and explained. Oh, that's good. Lan Lai was relieved. By the way, I have something on. I'll take my leave first, Lan Lai continued. Then he hurriedly left the inn. Leng Wudi, Sun Teng, Leng Ruoxue, and the others greeted each other before leaving with Lan Lai. Shuer, why is this kid so energetic? Leng Qingtian asked in puzzlement. I think he went back to the Lan family to settle scores with my father, Lan Ming said understandingly. Hee, that's their unique way of getting along. Outsiders can't understand it, Leng Ruoxue said with a light smile. Everyone was chatting when suddenly there was a knock on the door. Is Miss Leng here? Someone's looking for her outside. The waiter's words sounded from outside. Who's looking for me? Leng Ruoxue was a little surprised. She hadn't been in the boundless heaven continent for long and didn't know many people. Why would someone name her? They didn't say, the waiter replied. Oh, freak, let's go take a look. Leng Ruoxue turned to the freak. Okay. The freak nodded. In fact, he was quite curious. The two of them left the room and came to the hall of the inn. At this moment, two young men stood in the middle of the hall. One of them was someone they were familiar with, Su Heng, who had once gambled with them. They did not know the other person. Su Heng, why are you here? Are you here to make a bet with me? Leng Ruoxue teased with a light smile. No. I don't want to make a bet with you anymore, Su Heng said fearfully. How would he dare to make a bet with her when all his years of savings were gone? Oh. Then why are you here? Leng Ruoxue was a little puzzled because she didn't expect the person to see her to be Su Heng. Are you Leng Ruoxue? The handsome man beside Su Heng asked before Su Heng could answer. I'm Leng Ruoxue. Why? What's the problem? Leng Ruoxue looked at the man cautiously and asked calmly. Are you from the Ling Feng continent? The handsome man couldn't help asking. No, why? Leng Ruoxue denied. Oh, I don't think you will be the Leng Ruoxue I know, the handsome man said with a sigh of relief. Do you know someone named Leng Ruoxue? Leng Ruoxue pretended to be curious, but she was guessing the man's identity in her heart. This man was handsome and had an extraordinary temperament, but his eyes carried a trace of ruthlessness and gloominess. His strength was only that of a mystic, but his identity and status should be higher than Su Heng's respect for him. Yes, but she should still be on the Ling Feng continent, the handsome man said with certainty. Oh, how should I address you? Leng Ruoxue asked curiously. Su Qian, the handsome man said softly. He is the young master of our Su family, Su Heng added. Chapter 462, The Tragic Lan Family Elders, 1. Oh, so it's the young master of the Su family. Sorry for being rude, Leng Ruoxue said politely. It's okay. It's not strange that you didn't know. Su Qian said generously. Young Master Su, we are not the people you are looking for. If there's nothing else, we will take our leave, Leng Ruoxue said very politely. Okay. Su Qian nodded. Freak, let's go back to our room. Leng Ruoxue turned to the freak. Okay. The freak nodded, and the two of them turned and returned to their room. What's the name of the man beside her? Su Qian asked lightly after watching Leng Ruoxue leave. Freak, that man is called Freak. Su Heng hurriedly said. He was very curious why young master paid so much attention to Leng Ruoxue. He had been asking him about Leng Ruoxue ever since he heard her name. However, in his opinion, Leng Ruoxue was not worthy of the young master at all. Freak? Is that man's name? Do you think anyone would have such a name? Su Qian said with a cold face, a little displeased. For some reason, after seeing Leng Ruoxue just now, he was a little disappointed that she was not the person he was looking for, but that woman gave him a familiar feeling, which couldn't help making him a little puzzled. Su Heng was speechless. That man seemed to be called Freak during the competition, even though he didn't live up to his name. However, he couldn't remember much. Hurry up and find out that man's real name. Su Qian ordered, then strode out of the inn. Su Heng, who was standing in the lobby of the inn, was in a dilemma. How could he find that out? Should he ask that man himself? Leng Ruoxue and the freak immediately told her grandfather and the others after returning to their room. Everyone was silent for a moment. Lass, so you're from the Ling Feng continent, the little old man said in surprise after a while. Yes, Leng Ruoxue said. She naturally didn't intend to hide it from them since she said it in front of them. Little Snowy, Did you just arrive when you transmuted your spiritual power? Lan Ming wiped the cold sweat off his forehead and couldn't help asking curiously. Yes. Ah. You bunch of perverts. Lan Ming was speechless. They had only been here for less than 3 months and were already elementary mystics. This cultivation speed was really terrifying. How can we be considered perverts? The young masters of the 3 great families are the true perverts. You're already a mystic monarch at such a young age. Leng Ruoxue said nonchalantly. Little Snowy, you can't compare like this. The people on this continent are born with better aptitude than those on the Ling Feng continent. Moreover, the resources and treatment that the 3 of them have received since they were young are the best. It would be too inexcusable if their cultivation speed was still so slow, Lan Ming explained. Leng Ruoxue and the others definitely could not compare to the 3 of them in this aspect. However, he believed that Leng Ruoxue would definitely surpass them in time. That's true. Little Lan Lan, don't reveal our identities. Leng Ruoxue reminded. Don't worry, I won't say it. But little Snowy, you and the Leng family, Lan Ming hesitated, his face also a little curious. The Leng family is the Leng family, and we are us. There's no need to confuse us. Leng Ruoxue said very decisively. Yes. Lan Ming nodded. Their Lan family also had branches in the lower realm. And after those people came to the boundless heaven continent, almost all of them would choose to return to the family. However, the status of those people in the family was even inferior to the servants born and raised in the family. Therefore, he really didn't want Leng Ruoxue to choose to return to the family like them. However, he was very clear that with Leng Ruoxue's character, she would absolutely not bother with them. Grandpa, that Su Qian might know us, so use an alias for the time being. Leng Ruoxue turned to Leng Qingtian and the others. She didn't know if her denial just now could fool Su Qian, but they had to be careful just in case. Swear, we used our real names when we participated in the Mystic Cultivator competition. If we use an alias now, he will probably find out if he wants to investigate, Leng Qingtian said worriedly. Sister Ruoxue, don't be afraid. At most, it'll burn down the Mystic Association and make it impossible for them to investigate. Feng Lingqi said violently. 2 drops of cold sweat dripped down Leng Ruoxue's forehead. She felt that was not a bad idea. No, don't set the fire. Icy, who had been sleeping on the bed, suddenly said. Then what do you think we should do? The Su family doesn't have anything good. Do you want to see Sister Ruoxue in danger? Feng Linger roared furiously. What are you afraid of with me around? Icy rolled its eyes and said calmly. Humph. It really didn't care about a mere Su family. You only know how to sleep, eat after waking up, and sleep after eating. Moreover, how many Su family members can you beat alone? Feng Linger said with slight disdain. Little Lan Lan, how many mystic supremacies does the Su family have? Icy glanced at Lan Ming and asked. There should be one, Blue said after some thought. There's only one. What's there to be afraid of? 2 more will be nothing more than child's play to me. Icy said nonchalantly. Humph. Keep bragging. Feng Linger didn't believe the stinky Qilin at all. I never brag. Icy retorted. It was such a pragmatic Qilin and it had never lied. Sister Ruoxue, don't listen to it. Let me burn down the Mystic Association. Feng Linger couldn't be bothered to bicker with the Qilin and said directly to Leng Ruoxue. No, you're not allowed to burn if I say so. Icy stood up from the bed and jumped into Leng Ruoxue's arms. He glared at the little red bird and roared. Sister Ruoxue. Feng Linger ignored Bingqi and looked directly at Leng Ruoxue. Little Snowy. Icy also looked at Leng Ruoxue, the meaning in his blue eyes was obvious. Who will you listen to? Stop arguing. Grandpa, use your real names. I don't think Su Qian can do anything to us as long as we don't admit it. Leng Ruoxue said after some thought. With her current strength, she was not afraid of the Su family even though there was still a certain gap between her and the Su family. At most, she would just deal with whatever came her way. There was nothing to be afraid of. Chapter 463, The Tragic Lan Family Elders, 2, okay. Leng Qingtian nodded in agreement. It's getting late. Everyone, rest early. Leng Ruoxue looked at the time and said to everyone. Everyone nodded and went to rest. The next morning, the first elder and third elder arrived at the inn early to await orders. In the living room. If any of you need them to do anything today, just tell them. Leng Ruoxue suppressed her smile and looked at the sleepy first elder and third elder. Ah. Yes. Just let me know if there's anything. The first elder wiped the cold sweat off his forehead and said politely. However, he couldn't help thinking in his heart that these people wouldn't really want them to do manual labor, right? He was the first elder of the Lan family. Ah. Lan Hong is willing to carry out orders as well. The third elder also said. Hee, then serve me to change my clothes and wash up first. Then accompany me to the medicinal herb exchange to set up a stall. Old man Zhao said bluntly. Are you going to dominate both of them? No way, the old man said with some displeasure. Why not? I have a lot to do today. Old man Zhao said with some displeasure. So what? They're not your only servants. They belong to all of us, the old man said matter-of-factly. Lass, what do you think? Old man Zhao looked at Leng Ruoxue pleadingly, asking her to say something fair. Ah. Old man Zhao, you should take one of them away. As for the other one, you have to let him serve the others too. Leng Ruoxue said with a light smile. All right, I'll listen to the lass. Give me the third elder. Old man Zhao said after some thought. However, he was thinking about how to torment the third elder. Ruoxue, can you share the first elder with me? Lin Liang asked. No, the first elder is mine, the old man roared at the top of his lungs. Stop arguing. First elder will follow Grandpa Lin in the morning. His usage rights in the afternoon will go to the old man. Leng Ruoxue said very fairly. Shuer, when can we order the first elder around? Leng Qingtian said with some dissatisfaction. Tomorrow, Grandpa. There will be plenty of opportunities in the future. Leng Ruoxue suppressed her smile and comforted him. That's true. First elder, go back and tell your patriarch. If he can't bear to pay, he can also work for us to repay his debts, Leng Qingtian said very seriously. His tone and demeanor seemed to be thinking for the Lan family. Ah. The first elder's forehead was full of black lines. He was very speechless, and he couldn't help but grumble in his heart, what's wrong with you ordering us around? It's not enough with the two of us. You actually want the patriarch to be your servant too. Grandpa, the patriarch of the Lan family would rather pay than come to our house to be a servant. That old man loves his pride. Leng Ruoxue said very understandingly. In fact, she had been laughing in her heart for a long time. Hee, Grandpa and the others had learned bad things. They didn't care when it came to teasing people. Oh. That's a pity, Leng Qingtian said with a regretful face. Yes. What a pity. I've never used the patriarch as a servant before. Old man Zhao echoed. You, the third elder was speechless. He really didn't know how these people's heads grew. They actually dared to have such thoughts. Alas. If the patriarch knew, he would definitely be angered to death. Little third, follow me. Old man Zhao said to the third elder with a smile. However, the third elder still stood there without any reaction. Old man Zhao patted the third elder's shoulder angrily and said with displeasure, I'm talking to you. Are you pretending not to hear me? Are you talking to me? Weren't you calling someone called Little Third? You didn't call for me. The third elder said aggrievedly. Boo-hoo. Why were the people around Lengruoshua so unreasonable? I'm calling you. Aren't you the third elder? From now on, you'll be called Little Third around here. Old man Zao gave the third elder a name domineeringly and said without allowing him to refute. The name Little Third is really too unpleasant. Can we change to another one? Third elder discussed pitifully. His dignity would be lost if everyone in the Lan family heard him being called Little Third. No, Little Third is simple and easy to remember. This is it. In fact, you don't have to be angry. He will be called Little First. Old man Zao pointed at the first elder and smiled cunningly. Little First? Me? First elder pointed at himself and asked. Could he be hallucinating? It's you. You'll be called Little First from now on. Old man Zao said with certainty. I don't want to be called Little First. You can call me First Elder. Lan Hong objected. He firmly opposed this name. There's no First Elder here. You're just a servant of our family. Old man Zao reminded. Then you can call me Lan Hong. Anyway, I don't want to be called Little First. The first elder objected strongly. It's all right if you don't want to be called Little First, Leng Ruoshua said with a light smile, her bright eyes full of calculations. Lass, what are your conditions? The first elder said understandingly. Alas. This little girl had some rotten ideas again. Look at all of us. There's definitely not enough with just you and the third elder as our servants. Isn't your second elder very free? Leng Ruoshua asked with a smile. Yes, he's very free. The third elder interrupted impatiently before the first elder could answer. Then you can ask him for help. If he comes, you can repay more of your debts every day. Leng Ruoshua enticed like a big gray wolf seducing Little Red Riding Hood. Lass, if we bring him here, can you not call me Little Third? However, I don't object to you calling him Little Second. The third elder said very disloyally. No problem. You can get anyone in the Lan family that you are not happy with to work to repay your debts. Leng Ruoshua said with a naughty smile. Lass, will Lan Ninger do? The third elder asked carefully. Chapter 464, The Tragic Lan Family Elders, 3, Her. No. I can't afford to use the most favored fifth daughter of the Lan family. Leng Ruoshua didn't want to see that woman. The first elder and third elder were depressed when they heard Leng Ruoxua's words. They couldn't help but grumble in their hearts. You can't afford to use her, but you can afford to use us. What kind of logic is this? All right, your job today is to follow them. Do whatever they ask you to do. Don't have any doubts. Otherwise, your monthly pay will be deducted. Leng Ruoshua ignored the conflicted and depressed expressions of the two old men and continued. You still want to deduct our monthly pay? The first elder couldn't help asking. 500 amethyst coins a month, what would be left if they deducted a little more? Moreover, this stingy girl was not going to provide any food and lodging. Wasn't she making them go hungry? Of course. In your Lan family, servants' pay has to be deducted if they make a mistake too. Such a rule is common everywhere. Leng Ruoshua said understandingly. First elder, let's go quickly. The third elder couldn't help but suggest. They couldn't scheme against this little girl. Their pay might be deducted if they stayed any longer. Let's go quickly. The first elder hurriedly said after reacting. He didn't dare to stay any longer. Otherwise, who knew what this little girl would come up with again? With that, the two old men disappeared into the living room. Leng Ruoxue couldn't help laughing as she watched the first elder and third elder run out of the living room. Hee hee. Lass. These two old men are really too timid. Old man Zhao said with a smile, in a very good mood. It's not that they are timid, but they have never seen people like you. No one in the Lan family dares to treat them like this at all, Lan Ming said with incomparable pity. He had been with Leng Ruoxue and the others for a long time and had already slowly adapted to their way of doing things. However, the first elder and the third elder were obviously still unable to adapt. Don't worry, I'll let them understand us better, old man Zhao promised while patting his chest. Ah. Can you not torment them too badly for my sake? Lan Ming pleaded. Don't worry, don't worry. I'll show mercy. Old man Zhao left the living room after speaking. Ruoxue, I'm leaving too. Lin Liang greeted her and left. Everyone, disperse. I'm going to sleep for a while. Leng Ruoxue dragged the freak back to her room. After returning to her room, Leng Ruoxue brought the freak directly into the bracelet. Mommy. A little red furball jumped directly into Leng Ruoxue's arms and whined when it saw her. Huer, you seem to have gained weight. Leng Ruoxue looked at the chubby little guy in her arms and asked doubtfully. Mommy. I didn't grow fat. Little Fire said aggrievedly with tears in its pink eyes. Ha, I told you you've gained weight. Baby's voice sounded, and then a black furball jumped into Leng Ruoxue's arms. Baby, you seem to have gained weight too. Leng Ruoxue said in surprise. Baby had not changed much since she knew Baby. However, she realized today that Baby seemed to have become rounder. Big sister, you haven't cared about me for a long time, that's why you thought I was fat. Boo-hoo. Actually, I've always had a standard figure. Baby was also very aggrieved and choked up a little. Ah. I'm sorry. Baby, big sister has been too busy recently. Why don't big brother Freak come in to play with you every day? Leng Ruoxue suggested. I don't want to. The human and beast refused in unison, and they looked at Leng Ruoxue with fawning eyes. Objection overruled. It's settled. Leng Ruoxue smiled evilly and sent Huer and Baby into the Freak's arms. Then she said, Freak, play with them for a while. I'll go concoct some pills. With that, Leng Ruoxue left the man and the two beasts and entered the purple bamboo hut. Schwer, the Freak called out softly from behind Leng Ruoxue. Unfortunately, Leng Ruoxue ignored him. Boo-hoo. He didn't want to accompany these beasts that only knew how to compete for favor with him. Ha! In fact, Schwer's beasts are quite cute. Empty's voice sounded from behind the Freak. If you like them, I'll leave them to you. The Freak hurriedly threw Baby into Empty's arms. Why didn't you give Huer to me? Empty said in puzzlement. He's my son, the Freak said matter-of-factly. Huer called Schwer mommy and called him daddy. Of course, he couldn't give it to others. Hee hee, daddy, Huer loves you and mommy so much. Huer acted coquettishly. Good. By the way, Empty, how are your injuries? The Freak asked with concern. Much better. However, it's impossible to completely heal my injuries unless, Empty hesitated. He had long seen through it. He was already very satisfied that he could recover some strength after staying in this space for so long. How could he dare to hope for his injuries to recover completely? Do you need any rare herbs? There aren't any here, the Freak asked in puzzlement. He might not know much about herbs, but he knew very well that the herbs in Schwer's space were already very complete. If Schwer didn't have any, then it must be very rare. Yes, there isn't any here, Empty said indifferently. In all these years, saving Icy was his only wish. He had never thought about himself. There will always be hope if you live. You have to believe in miracles, the Freak comforted. Yes, as long as we are alive, nothing else is important. Empty sighed in agreement. The two of them chatted. Len Ruoxue saw the two of them chatting happily when she emerged from the purple bamboo hut after refining the pills. She didn't know what they were talking about. Len Ruoxue quietly came behind them and patted their shoulders mischievously. Then she teased, "What are you talking about? Don't tell me you're talking bad about me. How did you know?" Empty raised his eyebrows in surprise. "Swear, why would we say bad things about you?" the freak said aggrievedly, tears flashing in his bright starry eyes. Chapter 465, The Tragic Lan Family Elders, 4, Hee, I was joking. 2 drops of cold sweat dripped down Len Ruoxue's forehead. The freak was doing this again. It was really infuriating, but she just couldn't do anything to him. Alas! Was she destined to be eaten by the freak for the rest of her life? "Swear, you've been in there for a long time. I missed you," the freak said softly as he hugged Len Ruoxue's slender waist. "I went to concoct pills." Len Ruoxue caressed his head like she was petting a puppy and comforted him. "What pill did you concoct?" The freak was a little curious. In the past, Shuer didn't mind letting him watch her concoct pills. However, she actually left him outside this time. "Boo-hoo. Poison," Len Ruoxue said mysteriously. "Ah. Who do you intend to poison?" the freak asked fearfully. Why did Shuer like to concoct poison recently? This was not a good sign. "Ha, you'll know when the time comes." Len Ruoxue kept him in suspense. As long as it's not for me, it doesn't matter who it is." The freak wiped the cold sweat off his forehead. "Hee, freak, why are you so cute?" "Of course not for you," Len Ruoxue said with a naughty smile. "You two are so mushy. Can you take note of your image? There are underage children here." Empty couldn't take it anymore. "Underage children? Do you mean you?" Len Ruoxue deliberately said angrily. "I've been an adult for many years. It's your son." Empty pointed at little fire in the freak's arms. "Huer is also an adult," Len Ruoxue said with a smile. As the spirit of heavenly materials and earthly treasures, Huer had lived for countless years. However, Huer's mind was still that of a child. "Mommy. Huer has lived for a long time," Huer said with a childish tone. "Yes. By the way, what time is it now?" Len Ruoxue asked. "Shuer, it's already night outside," the freak said as he looked at the time. "Oh, then let's go out quickly," Len Ruoxue said hurriedly. Then she left the bracelet with the freak. After exiting the bracelet, the two of them came to the living room. Len Ruoxue found that everyone seemed to be waiting for them. The first elder and the third elder were so tired that they lay directly on the ground, panting non-stop. Ah! How much work did these two old men do? Why were they so tired? Len Ruoxue was full of doubts and puzzlement. "Lass, you're here," Old Man Zhao said hurriedly when he saw them enter and kept winking at them. "Ah. Yes. We overslept," Len Ruoxue said shyly. "I say, little girl. We're as tired as a dead dog, but you're actually sleeping. Boo-hoo. You're really too much of a bully," third elder complained with a long face. "Is it that bad? Old Man Zhao, didn't I tell you to arrange some easy work for them first?" Len Ruoxue looked at Old Man Zhao accusingly. "Lass. The work I arranged for little Hong is already very easy. Ask him if you don't believe me." "Did I ask him to do any heavy work?" Old Man Zhao said aggrievedly, so anxious that he looked like he was about to cry. "Third elder, say whatever grievance you have." "Ah. Did Old Man Zhao ask you to do a new job?" Len Ruoxue asked doubtfully. "He doesn't seem to have asked me to do any heavy work. I'm just running errands non-stop. My old arms and legs are about to break from running here and there." The third elder carefully recalled, but he couldn't think of what he had done today. The only thing he remembered was that he had never been idle at all. He kept spinning like a top. Lass, did you hear that? I really didn't ask him to do any heavy work. I listened to you very well. You said to let them adapt first. How could I dare not to listen? Old man Zao complained with an expression that said you've wronged me. Old man Zao, I'm sorry. The third elder is a newbie. You have to teach him slowly. Len Ruoshua hurriedly apologized with a rather sincere expression on her face. Got it. I'll train him well. He's just too pampered and lacks training. Old man Zao said understandingly. And what happened to you, first elder? Len Ruoshua turned her skeptical gaze to the first elder after settling the third elder's matter. I'm very tired, I don't want to talk. First elder stammered. Boo-hoo. How tragic. He had already decided that he had to get a few Lan family members to go through thick and thin with him tomorrow. Alas. I really don't want to tell you that you haven't cooked dinner seeing how tired you are. Len Ruoshua said awkwardly. What? Make dinner? Why do we have to make dinner? Third elder couldn't help shouting. Did he hear it right? This girl actually wanted them to make dinner. How could they know how to cook? Because you are our servants. So dinner is of course your job. Len Ruoshua said matter-of-factly. Aren't you staying in the inn now? You don't need us to cook at all. Third elder hurriedly said. In the past, it was because we didn't have anyone to serve us. Now that we have servants, who will still eat in the inn. Why don't you know how to save money? Len Ruoshua couldn't help criticizing. They might not spend money staying here, but they had to pay for their meals themselves. Ah. Third elder rolled his eyes in anger. Little girl, you're too stingy to even to save this small sum of money. You've already taken a lot of money from our Lan family. Little girl. I'm impressed. How about this? In the future, you can have free food and lodging in all the guest shops of the Lan family, okay? Don't make us cook dinner anymore. We really can't take it anymore. The first elder begged. He was very sure now that these people were messing with them in different ways. Alas. He knew that he was still considered polite to them and had never offended them. How could they bully him like this? Boo-hoo. Really? Do the words of the first elder count? Don't you need to discuss this with your patriarch and the elder consortium? Do you have any evidence? Len Ruoshua asked uncertainly. Yes, I can decide. Ask the third elder if you don't believe me. The first elder also dragged the third elder into the water. Chapter 466, The Tragic Lan Family Elders, 5, Yes, yes. We can decide. The third elder said hurriedly. What about the proof? Len Ruoshua said with a smile. Ah. Lass, take this token. In the future, all the inns and lodging in the Lan family will be free of charge. The first elder pulled a token from his waist helplessly and handed it to Len Ruoshua. He couldn't help muttering in his heart, why was this little girl so shrewd? Alas. If their Lan family had such a descendant, would they still be afraid that the Lan family would not be prosperous forever? Then I want stand on ceremony. Len Ruoshua took the token and stored it in her ring. Lass, can we leave now? The third elder couldn't help asking. They should be able to go home since the problem of dinner was resolved. Is there anything else you need these two servants to do? Len Ruoshua turned her gaze to everyone. Yes. A lot. Yes, I have something too. I've been waiting for them all day, everyone spoke at once. However, the heartbeat of the first elder and third elder accelerated with every word they said. The two old men almost fainted when they were done speaking. I see. But they're both so tired today. I'll plead for them. Let them go back and rest early. Len Ruoshua pleaded. All right. Then go back early today. Don't oversleep tomorrow. There's a pile of work waiting for you. Ling Qingtian reminded them. Okay. The first elder and third elder swallowed their anger and answered. Boo-hoo. They were so tired that they didn't even want to get up. Why aren't you leaving yet? Len Ruoshua asked in surprise when she saw that they were still lying motionlessly after a while. Lass, we can't walk anymore. The first elder said helplessly. Alas. He really wanted to cry. Oh. Then I'll get the shopkeeper to send you back. Len Ruoshua said thoughtfully. Hee, little girl, you're so kind-hearted. The third elder couldn't help but praise. Third elder, I won't call him for nothing. You have to pay me, Len Ruoshua reminded with a light smile. Ah. The third elder was dumbfounded. His flattery was in vain. Moreover, he was kicked by a horse. Lass, forget it. I won't trouble you anymore. Let's go ourselves. The first elder propped himself up and said speechlessly. Alas. Tears were already flowing down his face. This girl was a vampire. Goodbye then. I won't see you out. Len Ruoshua left the living room after speaking. Everyone followed Len Ruoshua, including Lan Ming. First elder, they've all left. What should we do? Third elder said dumbfoundedly. These people were really fast. They left just like that. Boo-hoo. No one cared about them anymore. Let's think of a way to return ourselves. The first elder sighed. First elder, that little girl said she wants remuneration, so let's give it to her. The third elder couldn't help complaining. No, that little girl is too cunning. I'm afraid I'll be tricked by her again. The first elder said very cautiously. He was really a little afraid of that girl now. He didn't dare to promise her anything easily at all. But it shouldn't cost much to get someone, right? The third elder guessed. In fact, he was quite afraid too. It's definitely higher than our monthly salary. The first elder said with some lingering fear. If they really let that little girl call someone for them, they would probably have worked for nothing for the entire month. Moreover, he really didn't know how long he could last if he continued doing this. Then let's go by ourselves. Third elder said with some heartache. Boo-hoo. He was the third elder of the Lan family. How did he end up like this? He couldn't understand why they were abusing him like this. Okay, let's go. With that, the two old men supported each other and left the living room to the guest hall. When the shopkeeper saw the first elder and third elder, he hurriedly ran to them and waited for instructions. Shopkeeper, prepare a car for us and send us back to the Lan family. The third elder ordered weakly. Yes, please wait a moment, elders. The shopkeeper quickly replied and then turned to prepare the carriage. However, he couldn't help being puzzled. What happened to the first elder and third elder? Why were they so tired? After a while, the shopkeeper prepared the car and arranged for the waiter to help the two elders into the car. Then, he watched the two elders leave. The next day, first elder and third elder still arrived at the inn early. Their stamina had recovered after a night of rest. Elders, you look good today. Len Ruoshua praised when she walked into the living room and saw the first and third elders waiting there. Yes, it's okay. Oh right, little girl, they are all the elders of our elder association. From today onwards, they are also your servants. The third elder pointed at the dozen or so people standing not far away from them and said with a smile. Want to see him and the first elder make a fool of themselves? Dream on. Therefore, these people who wanted to gloat were brought here by him and the first elder early this morning. This was called sharing difficulties together. What can they do? Leng Ruoxua looked at the dozen people with some disdain. These people were eating with faces full of oil and brains full of fat. They seemed to be inferior to the two old men. You can let them do whatever you want. There's no need to be polite. The first elder said. One sentence determined their miserable days for the next few days. When he and the third elder returned home yesterday, they were still discussing who to get to help them repay their debts. They didn't expect a few people to take the initiative to come knocking on their door. In that case, why should he be polite? Moreover, he used his position for personal gain to get everyone from the second elder's side, except for the second elder who was pretending to be sick, of course. Oh, all right then. Leng Ruoxua looked at the dozen people carefully from head to toe, the dissatisfaction on her face increasing. Why don't I see little second? Leng Ruoxua asked with slight dissatisfaction after looking around. Chapter 467, The Tragic Lan Family Elders, 6, Little Second isn't feeling well. I've already reported to the patriarch to get someone to treat him, first elder said. What he implied was that he would come after being cured. Oh. I see. Leng Ruoxua nodded and then turned her gaze to Leng Qingtian and the others. Grandpa, there are enough servants today. Pick any one of them and leave the rest to me. Okay. Leng Qingtian and the others nodded slightly and began to choose their servants very seriously. After choosing for a long time, Leng Qingtian and the others each chose a servant with dissatisfaction. This time, there were a total of 13 Lan family elders including the first elder and the third elder, so there were 5 left after Leng Qingtian and the others chose. These 5 naturally belonged to Leng Ruoxua and the freak. Lass, what should we do with the 5 of them? The 2 of you can't use so many, right? Old man Zhao couldn't help asking. The meaning behind his words was obvious. He wanted another one. Didn't I give the third elder to you? Leng Ruoxua said with a light smile. Ah. That's right. How did I forget little Hong? Hee hee. Look at my memory. Old man Zhao patted his head in realization. Lass, do I still have to work today? Third elder asked aggrievedly. What he implied was that why did he have to work even though he had already brought more than 10 people here? Of course you have to do it. However, you have subordinates today. You can instruct them to do any heavy work. Leng Ruoxua said with a naughty smile. Ah. Okay, no problem. The third elder nodded repeatedly. How could he have forgotten about this? It seemed like he could relax a little today. First elder, follow my grandfather and Feng Jing today. Leng Ruoxua looked at the first elder and ordered. Okay, the first elder said helplessly. Alas. How could he say no? Is one servant for each of you enough? Leng Ruoxua turned her gaze to Zheng En and the others and asked. That's enough. They can't help much either. Zheng En said with great dissatisfaction. Okay. As for the 5 of you, take care of my beasts. Leng Ruoxua glanced at the 5 of them and said with a naughty smile. The elders of the Lan family couldn't help looking at the 5 of them with envy and jealousy when they heard that they were taking care of the beasts. In their opinion, taking care of the beasts was the easiest job. Alright, go and work quickly. Leng Ruoxua summoned a few beasts and said to the cute little beasts, these 5 are your servants. You can order them whatever you want. Okay. The beasts smiled mischievously and said happily. I'm going to catch up on some sleep. Leng Ruoxua left the living room with the freak after speaking. Let's go. Old man Zhao said to his 2 servants. Just like that, only the 5 elders of the Lan family and Leng Ruoxia's beasts were left in the living room after Leng Qingtian and the others took away their servants. After seeing that everyone had left, the 5 elders each found a chair to sit down on, crossed their legs, drank tea like masters, and even called the shopkeeper to give them some food. As for Leng Ruoxia's cute little beasts, they automatically ignored them. Darling, looks like they don't care about us at all. What should we do now? Dazzle asked softly. Let me think about it. Darling sat on the table, crossed its calves, and propped its chin in one hand as it pondered. If they were to fight, they really did not have the confidence to defeat these old men. However, these old men were not their match in scheming. Rise, go find Master and ask her to let those violent birds out, Darling called Rise over and ordered softly. Okay, Rise replied. It turned to leave but was stopped. You're not allowed to go, Icy said lazily with its eyes closed. Ah. Darling was stunned and puzzled. Do whatever you want. What are you afraid of with me around? Icy said softly as it raised its eyelids. All right then. Darling said helplessly. At the same time, it was thinking, you should have said so earlier. If you said so earlier, why would it want to look for that violent bird? Should I still look for Master then? Rise asked foolishly. Of course not. Come, do as I say. Darling called a few beasts and whispered. Hee, Darling, those 5 old men are really too annoying. We have to teach them a lesson, Dazzle said excitedly. Yes, they actually dared to look down on us. Darling said furiously. After making the arrangements, the beasts began to move according to their respective tasks. Fatty, come here and massage my shoulders. Darling ordered from above as it sat on the table. Fatty? Are you calling me? Ha! You, a little beast pet, actually dare to order me around. You're really tired of living, the fattest elder among the 5 said. What's wrong with ordering you? You're our servant now. Darling said disdainfully. Humph. It had always looked down on people who couldn't recognize it. Servant? Ha, this is too ridiculous. Can you afford to use us? We are the elders of the Lawn family, the fatty said with a face full of arrogance. You are an elder in the Lawn family, but you are servants in front of us. Cut the crap and come work for me quickly. Otherwise, we'll serve you with the family law. Darling threatened. Oh. Elders, these hairy beasts are actually threatening us. Tell me, what should we do? The chubby elder said to the other 4 provocatively. Of course we have to teach these hairy beasts a lesson and let them know how powerful we are. Humph. Our Lawn family isn't to be trifled with, an elder said with a face full of disdain. All right, let's teach these little beasts a lesson then, the chubby elder said resolutely. We are your masters, but you call us little beasts. You are obviously being disrespectful to your masters. Humph. You must be punished. Darling pretended to be angry. Hee, actually, its main goal was to make them angry. This way, it would be justifiable to defame them. Chapter 468, Preparation for Special Training, 1, Little Bastard, let's see who will punish who. With that, the chubby elder pounced in the direction of Darling. However, Darling was small and exquisite, and its body was very agile. How could it be caught easily by him? As for him, because he was too fat and his movements were slow, Darling easily left marks on its body, and the other beasts watching the commotion scratched him from time to time. What are you waiting for? Hurry up and help. The chubby elder roared furiously. He was so angry. These damn beasts actually launched a sneak attack. It was really infuriating. Oh. Coming. The other 4 people swarmed forward, wanting to help the fat elder catch Darling. However, the 5 of them collided and collapsed collectively on the ground instead. Pull the net. Darling quickly reminded when it saw the opportunity. Hee, it had thought of several plans with the goal of catching these damn old men. Okay. The beasts each took a corner and got a huge fish net from somewhere. They then netted the 5 elders who were lying together like fishes. The beasts exerted strength together and trapped the 5 elders in the fish net, hanging them on the roof beam. After they were done, the beasts imitated the 5 of them. They crossed their legs, drank tea, and ate snacks while criticizing the 5 of them. "Darling, that fattest one stinks. I don't know how long it's been since he showered. He stinks." Dazzle complained while covering its little nose. "Yes, these people stink. Charm, wash them up," Darling said to Charm, which was not far away. "Okay," Charm replied and then sealed the 5 people in the fish net in ice. "Ah. Will they freeze to death? Then there won't be any fun," Rise said worriedly. "Don't worry, I know my limits," Charm said, a naughty smile flashing in its beautiful purple eyes. "Alas. I thought I could have someone to serve me, but these 5 servants are really too disobedient," Rise said with some regret, its face full of disappointment. "Don't worry. They need training. Well, use them after training them," Darling comforted. "Alas. That's the only way," Rise said helplessly. The few beasts felt a little sleepy after eating and chatting for a while, so they slept next to Icy. As for the 5 people on the roof beam, they were unfortunately forgotten by them. It was already night time when they woke up. "You're awake." Leng Qingtian looked at the sleepy beasts on the recliner with a doting face. "Ah. Master's grandfather, why are you here?" Darling asked a little foolishly, its silver eyes noticing that there were many people in the living room. "Darling, did you sleep too much?" "It's already nighttime," Leng Qingtian reminded helplessly. "Ah. It's already nighttime." Darling scratched its fluffy little head shyly and said in surprise. "Yes. By the way, where are the 5 servants serving you?" Leng Qingtian asked curiously. They had only seen these little beasts sleeping alone in the living room after coming back for so long. However, the servants who were supposed to be serving them were gone. They couldn't help but feel a little angry. Humph. How dare they find chances to laze around? Servants? Ah. On top. Darling pointed to the top of the living room with its little paw. "Ah. Darling, what happened to them?" Leng Qingtian looked in the direction Darling was pointing. He wouldn't have known if he hadn't seen them, but he was shocked when he saw them. The 5 of them were actually hung on the roof beam and frozen into ice. Ah. It was really too tragic. "They called us hairy beasts, so we punished them," Darling said calmly as if it was talking about something trivial. These people can still move. How magical." Old Man Zao exclaimed after looking at them for a while. "Hee, of course they can," Charm said proudly. "Charm. Well done," Old Man Zao praised. Hee. Charm smiled proudly. "By the way, where's Shuer?" Leng Qingtian asked. "Grandpa, I'm here." Leng Ruoxu's voice sounded from behind everyone. Hee, she came after intense calculation. "Ruoxua, I want to complain." First Elder Feng was the first to speak with a displeased face. "Ah. What's the matter?" Leng Ruoxua asked in puzzlement, her face full of puzzlement. "I have a disobedient servant. He won't do anything I ask him to do," First Elder Feng complained aggrievedly. "Shuer, Grandpa's too," Leng Qingtian also said. That person could be more well-behaved when the first elder was around. However, after the first elder left, the servant put on airs and even ordered him, his master. "Is this true for all of you?" Leng Ruoxua asked after looking around. Yes. Yes. Everyone encountered the same situation except for Old Man Zao. "Master, not only did the servants who served us not work well, they even scolded us." Darling's silver eyes welled up with tears as it complained aggrievedly. "Darling, be good, don't cry. From tomorrow onwards, Master will teach them personally. I promise to teach them to be obedient." Leng Ruoxua promised. "Yes, yes. Darling nodded happily and rubbed Leng Ruoxu's body coquettishly. Grandpa, there's no medicinal herb exchange tomorrow anyway. Let these people undergo special training collectively. Leng Ruoxua looked at Ling Qingtian. Okay, sure, Grandpa has the same idea, Ling Qingtian agreed. First elder, third elder, in view of their performance today, Leng Ruoxua deliberately said half a sentence. Ah. What do you want? First elder asked fearfully. What he was most afraid of now was that Leng Ruoxua would think of ways to earn money from him again. Their performance at work is not good, so not only would your pay be deducted, you also have to be fined. Leng Ruoxua said with a friendly smile. Chapter 469, Preparation for Special Training, 2, Fine. How much? Will you fine only them? The first elder asked several questions in a row. He was very scared when he heard that he would be fined, afraid that he would be implicated by those people. Master, we request compensation for mental damage. They call us hairy beasts. Darling pointed at the 5 people on the roof beam. No problem. Leng Ruoxua was very protective. Humph. How dare you bully my beasts? How can I not skin you alive? First elder, you heard it too, right? My beasts were hurt mentally, so, Leng Ruoxua deliberately didn't finish speaking. Little girl. This has nothing to do with me. The first elder wiped the cold sweat off his forehead and wanted to cry but had no tears. Boo-hoo. Why was he so unlucky? Was he going to be implicated again? I know it's not your fault, so don't be scared. You won't be implicated. Leng Ruoxua suppressed her smile and comforted him. Oh, that's good, that's good. The first elder was finally at ease. Boo-hoo. It was good as long as he didn't ask him to take money anymore. First elder, for your sake, I'll only take one portion from them. Since they are all elders, the price for mental damage will be 1 billion per elder, Leng Ruoxua said very readily. Ah. The first elder was stunned. What did she mean by only taking one portion? Everyone had already received 1 billion yuan. How much more did this girl want? The 5 elders, who were frozen in the fishnet, could still hear the conversation between Leng Ruoxua and the others even though they were frozen. Therefore, their reactions after hearing it could be said to be relatively intense. They even used their heads to hit the ice, but it was useless. Leng Ruoxua couldn't help but snicker in her heart after seeing the reactions of the people on the roof beam from the corner of her eye. Humph. Serves you right. This is only the first step since you dare bully my beasts. First elder, do you have any objections to the mental damage compensation they need? Leng Ruoxua asked with a spurious smile. No, I have no objections. The first elder hurriedly said. It was fine as long as they didn't ask him for money. He couldn't be bothered with others. Hee, it's settled then. First elder, go back early today. Remember, special training will begin tomorrow. Don't be late. Leng Ruoxua reminded them with a smile. The expression on her face was as kind as possible. Moreover, she was the first to leave the living room after speaking, and the others followed closely behind. Ah. All right then. The first elder braced himself. For some reason, he actually had a very bad feeling, as if someone was going to be unlucky. Boo-hoo. What was going on? However, he didn't have time to think too much as he watched Leng Ruoxua chase them away. He could only slip away ashenly from the living room with the elders of the Lan family. He only remembered that there were 5 people on the beam after the third elder reminded him when he walked to the door of the inn. Therefore, he returned with the third elder and took the big ice block off the beam before returning to the Lan family. In the living room, Leng Ruoxua and the others returned after the first elder and the others left. Hee, lass, how do you intend to train those arrogant old men tomorrow? Old man Zhao asked curiously. This is a training plan I came up with during the day. Take a look. Leng Ruoxue took out a few pieces of paper and handed them to Leng Qingtian and the others. In fact, she had long thought that the elders would not listen obediently, so after leaving the living room in the morning, she returned to the bracelet to draft a special training plan. These plans were the fruits of the combined wisdom of her, the freak, empty, and the beasts in the bracelet. They would definitely be able to torment those elders half to death. Leng Qingtian and the others took the papers and looked at them carefully. Immediately, they broke out in cold sweat and were speechless for a long time after reading them. Ah! Lass, this plan is really good. After a while, old man Zhao wiped the cold sweat off his forehead and said fearfully, "Oh my God! How did this girl think of it? It's really too terrifying." Okay, as long as you're satisfied. Old man Zhao, go find the shopkeeper with Grandpa Lin. My plan needs his cooperation. Leng Ruoxue said to the two of them with a smile. Ruoxue, will the shopkeeper agree? Those people are the elders of the Lan family. Lin Liang asked uncertainty. He didn't think the shopkeeper would dare to cooperate with them to deal with these Lan family elders. Don't worry, he will be happy to cooperate with us, Leng Ruoxue said confidently. She was very confident about this. Alright, let's go find him. With that, Lin Liang and old man Zhao left the living room and went to the hall downstairs to look for the shopkeeper. After Lin Liang and old man Zhao arrived at the hall, they found the shopkeeper and explained their intentions. Then they handed the training plan to the shopkeeper. The shopkeeper opened the few pieces of paper and looked at them. Cold sweat broke out on his forehead and his heart was racing. After a while, he said, The shopkeeper was so scared and anxious that he couldn't even finish his sentence. Don't worry. We understand what you mean. You will cooperate with us. We know. Hee hee. Thank you. Well, go back to our rooms to prepare. Old man Zhao didn't give the shopkeeper a chance to speak at all. He pulled Lin Liang away from the hall and returned to his room. The shopkeeper, who was standing alone at the front desk, shook his head and nodded. The others in the hall were puzzled and wondered if he was mentally abnormal. Shopkeeper, what happened to you? A waiter couldn't help coming forward to wake the shopkeeper up from his daze and asked in puzzlement. It's okay. I'll leave for a while, the shopkeeper said to the waiter and then hurriedly left the inn. The shopkeeper headed straight for the Lan family after leaving the inn. In the Lan family mansion. In Lan Tao's study. Patriarch, first elder and the others have returned, fifth elder reported. Oh, is there anything today? Lan Tao, who was sitting behind the desk, looked up and asked casually. 5 elders offended Leng Ruoxue's beasts and were asked by Leng Ruoxue to compensate each person with a mental damage compensation of 1 billion purple coins. The 5th elder gloated. He was really too happy to see those people bleeding profusely. Chapter 470, Preparation for Special Training, 3:0. Alas! Why does this girl earn more money than me? I'm really impressed by her. Lan Tao said helplessly. Leng Ruoxue was really too similar to him in certain aspects. Patriarch, the 5th young miss and the guards of our Lan family are still in Leng Ruoxue's hands. Where should we pay for this? The 5th elder asked carefully. He knew that the patriarch was currently in pain over this matter. However, he couldn't not remind the patriarch. After all, the patriarch had already agreed. Didn't the elders of our Lan family go to work for her? Let's use them to repay the debt. Lan Tao said matter-of-factly. The 5th elder was a little speechless. So the patriarch didn't intend to fork out this sum of money at all. No wonder the time limit that the fire phoenix gave the patriarch was already up, but the patriarch didn't seem to be anxious. Patriarch, the wages of those elders are too low. I'm afraid they won't be able to repay Leng Ruoxu's debts even if they work for her for a lifetime. Moreover, Leng Ruoxue doesn't provide food, so, the fifth elder reminded, but he was interrupted by Lan Tao before he could finish speaking. They can come back to the Lan family to eat. Lan Tao said nonchalantly. That's true. 2 drops of cold sweat dripped down the fifth elder's forehead as he echoed. Patriarch, the inn's manager requests an audience. At this moment, a guard's voice sounded from outside the study. Let him in. Lan Tao said, but he was muttering in his heart. Why was he here so late? Greetings, Patriarch and fifth elder. The shopkeeper bowed respectfully after entering the study and then stood in front of Lan Tao anxiously. Just say it. Lan Tao said. Yes, Patriarch. I find it really difficult to speak about this. The shopkeeper was in a difficult position. Boo-hoo. Would the Patriarch blame him after he said it? Say it if you have something to say. Spit it out if you have it. Stop wasting time, the Patriarch roared a little roughly. Ah. Yes, Patriarch. Take a look at this and you will understand. The shopkeeper directly placed the few pieces of paper he had been holding in front of Lan Tao. What is this? Lan Tao opened the pieces of paper doubtfully. His expression became more serious the more he read. The shopkeeper and the fifth elder carefully observed Lan Tao's expression from the side. They saw that his face alternated between green, white, and black. It was almost a color palette. After a long while, Lan Tao read through all the plans and was silent for a while. Finally, he said, this plan is not bad. Let's do as it says. Huh? The shopkeeper thought he heard it wrong and couldn't help looking at Lan Tao in puzzlement. I said do as it says. From tomorrow onwards, give the waiters in your shop a break. Let the elders do all the work in the shop, including cleaning the toilet. Lan Tao said loudly. Patriarch, what can those elders do? The shopkeeper said fearfully. Alas! Aren't they causing trouble for me? It's precisely because they don't know how to do it that they have to learn it. If they can do anything, why train them? Lan Tao asked in displeasure. But, what if they don't do well? The shopkeeper was a little worried. Those people were all elders. He, a mere shopkeeper, didn't dare to care. Tell them. Tell them what I said. If they don't do well, don't give them food. If they break anything, they have to pay double the compensation, Lan Tao said with a naughty smile. Okay then, the shopkeeper replied. Since the Patriarch said so, what was there to be afraid of? The Patriarch would naturally support him if anything happened. Therefore, he was more confident. Fifth elder, send the second elder to Leng Ruoxue tomorrow, Lan Tao said after some thought. Patriarch, isn't the second elder sick? The fifth elder said helplessly. The second elder had been pretending to be sick for a day. He was still complaining about the pain just now. Sick. You have to send him to me even if he's about to die. Lan Tao said nonchalantly. Yes, Patriarch. The fifth elder was so happy. Let him pretend to be sick. He had nothing to say now, right? Patriarch, I'll take my leave first. The shopkeeper said, seeing that the matter was resolved. Okay, go down. Oh right, try to satisfy Leng Ruoxue if she has any additional requests. Lan Tao reminded. Yes, I understand, the shopkeeper replied and left Lan Tao's study with the fifth elder. Fifth elder, why does the Patriarch treat Leng Ruoxue so differently? The shopkeeper couldn't help asking curiously on the way out of Lan Tao's study. Don't ask what you shouldn't ask. Just do what you have to do, the fifth elder said with a serious face. Yes, the shopkeeper quickly replied. Then he bowed to the fifth elder and quickly strode out of the Lan family mansion. The next morning, the first elder and the third elder led the elders of the Lan family to the inn early to prepare for the so-called special training. As for the second elder, they naturally brought him here even though he was being carried in. Len Ruoxue and the others saw the second elder lying on the stretcher as soon as they entered the living room. Yo, little second is here today. Old man Zhao looked at the bald second elder and teased. Humph. The second elder snorted and turned his head to the side, ignoring old man Zhao. Little second, it's not good for you to keep people at a distance. Alas. I originally thought that you were a patient and wanted to arrange a more relaxed job for you. However, forget it since you don't appreciate it. I'm too lazy to be sentimental. Old man Zhao sighed with a sad expression on his face. Boo-hoo. His good intentions were actually being treated as ill intent. Ah. Old man Zhao, arrange something more relaxing for me. My performance these 2 days was pretty good, right? Third elder said ingratiatingly. Yes, yes. Don't worry, you're doing very well. Old man Zhao patted the third elder on the shoulder like they were good brothers. Oh, is that so? Third elder asked curiously. In fact, he was a little uncertain about what this old man Zhao was saying. He was very afraid that there was some undercurrent, so it was better to ask clearly. Don't worry. It's your and the first elder's turn after arranging their work. Old man Zhao kept the third elder in suspense, wanting to make him anxious. Chapter 471, Preparation for Special Training. 4. Old man Zhao quickly arranged their work. Oh right, I'll leave little second to big sister Linger to train. Len Ruoxue urged. Okay, let's begin immediately. Old man Zhao took out a piece of paper and read it according to what was written on it. After arranging everything, he realized that the dozen or so elders were all in a daze. Ah. That wouldn't do. Little Hong, wake them up quickly. They can't work in this state, old man Zhao said to the third elder. Okay. The third elder replied. Then, he gathered water attribute mystic energy in his palm, and threw an especially large water ball at the dozen or so elders. With a bang, the dozen or so elders instantly became all wet. However, they also returned to their senses. Ha, little Hong, this method is good. I like it. Old man Zhao laughed and praised. You. What right do you have to make us do the work of these servants? The fat elder who was frozen into ice yesterday was the first to launch an attack. He still didn't seem to understand the situation in front of him clearly despite what happened yesterday. You're my family's servants now, right, first elder? Old man Zhao couldn't be bothered with him and asked the one who made the call. Yes, that's right. The patriarch also agreed. The first elder nodded very seriously. But, we are elders of the Lan family, the chubby elder roared indignantly. He couldn't understand why he, a mighty elder of the Lan family, had to be subservient to others. I'm still the first elder. I'm also their servant. What's there to fuss about? The first elder said with some displeasure. Humph. What was an elder? Which of these people's status was higher than his? He didn't even say anything. What right did these people have to shout here? Ah. The chubby elder was speechless and didn't dare to say anything else. Boo-hoo. Yes. The first elder didn't even complain, how could it be his turn? Ha, as expected of the Lan family's first elder. I'm relieved to leave these elders to you. Old man Zhao praised with a chuckle. Ah. Don't worry. I'll supervise them properly. 2 drops of cold sweat dripped down the first elder's forehead, and he secretly sighed in relief. Fortunately, he did not have to undergo special training with these elders. He just had to supervise them. Yes, listen carefully. In order to train you, all the waiters in the inn are on holiday, so their work will be completed by you. Therefore, you have to be on full alert. Humph. We won't be the ones to take action if you delay the Lan family's business. Old Man Zhao reminded. Don't worry, I will watch over them, the first elder promised. Yes, yes. Hurry up and bring them to their jobs. Old Man Zhao urged impatiently. First elder and third elder nodded, and then they left the living room with the dozen or so elders. Those elders really began their miserable lives. Little second, it's only you now. Leng Ruoxua looked at the second elder on the single rack with a naughty smile, the gloating in her tone obvious. However, the second elder did not react at all. Little second. Leng Ruoxua called out again. The second elder still didn't react. I'm calling you. Are you deaf? Old Man Zhao kicked the second elder fiercely and roared angrily. How dare you treat me like this? Do you know who I am? I'm the second elder of the Lan family. The second elder roared in anger after reacting. He was really being bullied by a dog. The mighty second elder of the Lan family, who was also a mystic emperor, was actually being bullied by a mystic. Boo-hoo. Was there any justice in this world? Little second, please take a good look at the situation in front of you. You're only a servant of our family in front of us, not some second elder. If you want to be the second elder, do that when you return to your Lan family. Old Man Zhao reminded him rudely. Humph. How dare you treat the elders of the Lan family like this? Our patriarch won't let you go. The second elder brought up the patriarch, wanting to threaten Leng Ruoxua and the others. Is that so? What if I tell you that your patriarch used you to repay the debt? Oh right, I forgot to tell you that your patriarch sent someone to inform me last night that the Lan family is currently tight on money, so they're using you, the elders who only eat and don't work, to repay the debt. Old Man Zhao told the second elder this terrifying truth with a smile. In fact, Lan Tao sent his trusted subordinates to inform them that he wanted to use these elders to repay the debt last night after knowing their plan. At that time, they immediately understood that Lan Tao did not intend to bleed anymore. These elders seemed even more useless than the purple coins. This is impossible. The patriarch won't do that. This concerns the Lan family's honor. The second elder didn't believe Old Man Zhao at all, nor did he believe that the patriarch would use them as collateral. The Lan family has so many elders, so what if a dozen of you disappear? Moreover, look at you all, you're all full of shit. How can the Lan family afford you? Therefore, it's normal to abandon you. Old Man Zhao said with a face full of realization. No, I don't believe you. The second elder roared at the top of his lungs, his face red with anger. This is a letter personally written by your patriarch. Take a look if you don't believe me. Old Man Zhao took out a letter from his ring and handed it to the waiter who refused to believe the truth. How did this happen? Second elder hurriedly opened the letter, and couldn't help being a little dumbfounded after reading it. Boo-hoo. This was indeed the patriarch's handwriting. But how could this be? Why would the patriarch abandon them? Alas! My condolences. Old Man Zhao said sympathetically, but his face was full of schadenfreude. Boo-hoo, the second elder couldn't take this blow and wailed. Ah! This isn't the end. Old Man Zhao frowned and said impatiently. He really couldn't tell. This little second was quite good at crying. Old Man Zhao, since little second is my servant, hand him to me. I have a way to make him unable to cry. Feng Linger flew in front of Old Man Zhao and said proudly. Chapter 472, Take the money and leave. 1. Last Linger, do you really have a method? Old Man Zhao asked doubtfully. Yes. Trust me, Feng Linger promised. Alright, I'll leave little second to you. Don't let him cry anymore. It's so unsightly. Old Man Zhao couldn't take it anymore. Then he retreated to the side tactfully and allowed Feng Linger to start tormenting him. Little second, I order you not to cry anymore. Otherwise, you will regret it. Fong Linger said loudly, her words full of threat. What do you want? I'm warning you, don't do anything rash. I'll resist. The second elder's eyes welled up with tears as he covered his chest with his arms, his face full of fear. Little second, look at your appearance. I'm not interested in you. Fong Linger's forehead was full of black lines as she said speechlessly. Now, she really wondered how the brains of these people from the Lan family grew. Why were their thoughts so different? Then what do you want? The second elder asked cautiously. I just want you to do what servants should do. Fong Linger smiled gently. Who's your servant? The second elder roared in response. He didn't want to be a servant to a bird. What? Do you want to disobey the orders of your patriarch? Fong Linger glared at him with her small bird eyes and questioned fiercely. No. No, I'm a patient now, second elder whispered. What he implied was that he couldn't do what a servant should do now. Boo-hoo. He didn't dare to disobey the orders of the patriarch, but it was impossible to make him willingly become a servant. Patient? It's okay. I know how to treat illnesses. I'll treat you. Fong Linger spat out a ball of flames and pounced at the second elder on the stand after speaking. Ah! You damn bird! Do you want to burn me to death? The second elder jumped up, quickly turned over, and escaped to the side, avoiding the fireball with extremely high temperature. After standing slightly, he kept breathing heavily, his heart was still racing, and cold sweat was flowing down his body. Boo-hoo! Such a hot fire, if he reacted slower, he would be a roasted pig. Little second, you've recovered. Ha! My medical skills are really brilliant. Fong Linger flapped her little wings happily. I'm not completely healed yet. Second elder denied resolutely that he had recovered. He swore to continue pretending to be sick until the end. Is that so? Then I'll cure you. With that, he prepared to breathe fire for the second time. No. No need. I'm fine, second elder said hurriedly, his face pale from fright. Are you sure? Don't force yourself. My flames don't cost anything. Fong Linger was skeptical and asked uncertainly. All right, I'm well now. I promise I'm really lively. The second elder was afraid that this bird wouldn't believe him, so he specially bounced a few times to prove his health. Oh, then I'm relieved. Let's begin work since you've recovered. Fong Linger said as if she was being skinned alive. Work? What work? Second elder couldn't help asking. He didn't know what work this little bird planned to let him do, but presumably, a bird didn't have much work for him to do. Thinking of this, he was slightly relieved. Help me wash my claws first, and then give me a foot massage. Fong Linger stretched her little paw in front of the second elder and ordered. Foot massage. The second elder was a little dumbfounded. It was just a bird, why did it need a foot massage? He couldn't help wondering if this bird's mental state was abnormal. What? Is there a problem? Fong Linger glared and was about to spit fire again. No problem. But you're a bird. You don't need a foot massage, right? Why don't I help you smooth your feathers or something? The second elder bargained. No, smoothing my feathers is exclusive for my partner. You are not qualified, Fong Linger said disdainfully. Then arrange some other work for me. Second elder said with a long face. No, this is your only job now. If you can't do it well, then you can do it for life, Fong Linger said without hesitation. All right then. Second elder wanted to cry but had no tears. Boo-hoo. Why was he so unlucky? He actually fell into this little red bird's claws. Then why are you still dawdling? Hurry up and bring your master me water to wash my claws. Fong Linger ordered with full force. Yes, the second elder braced himself and answered aggrievedly. Then he turned and left the living room. Ha, Sister Ruoxue, I'm amazing, right? Feng Linger flew to Len Ruoxue to claim credit after the second elder left the living room. Big Sister Linger, you have to be careful. That second elder isn't a gentleman. Len Ruoxue reminded. Don't worry, I know my limits, Feng Linger promised as she patted her chest with her little wings. I'll leave Icy and the others behind to accompany you later, Len Ruoxue said after some thought. She believed that the second elder would not be able to do anything with Icy around. No need. I can handle it myself. Feng Linger said. It didn't want that stinky dog to come out and say anything. Objection overruled. Len Ruoxue didn't allow it to refuse and directly moved Icy out of the bracelet and placed it on the recliner. Boo-hoo. All right then. Feng Linger's eyes welled up with tears as she pretended to be pitiful. Little Icy, protect them. Len Ruoxue ignored Feng Linger and spoke directly to Icy. Okay, Icy answered indifferently without even opening its eyes. Len Ruoxue dragged the freak out of the living room. After Len Ruoxue left, Feng Linger kept sneaking around the table gloomily. Old man Zhao couldn't take it anymore and couldn't help but say, Lass Linger, why are you going back and forth? I'm dizzy. Why hasn't my servant returned yet? Humph. He's probably lazing around. Feng Linger roared furiously, venting all her frustration on the unlucky second elder. I'm back, second elder shouted hurriedly before entering the living room after hearing Feng Linger's words. Chapter 473, Take the money and leave. 2, Little second, where did you go? You actually went for so long. Feng Linger questioned with great dissatisfaction. I went to get water. The second elder wiped the cold sweat off his forehead. He was already very fast. This bird was actually still not satisfied. Boo-hoo. It takes so long to get water. Did you go to the well? Feng Linger said mockingly. No. It's 15th elder's water that was boiling too slowly. He couldn't light the fire in the kitchen for a long time. The second elder explained as he wiped the cold sweat off his forehead. The people in the kitchen waiting to draw water were almost lining up outside the inn. Ah! Why is that old man so useless? Doesn't he know how to use fire attribute mystic energy? Feng Linger seriously doubted the intelligence of these Lan family elders. None of us elders are of the fire attribute. Moreover, the shopkeeper doesn't allow us to use mystic power. Second elder explained sadly. Boo-hoo. How did these usually high and mighty elders end up like this today? He couldn't understand even if he racked his brains. Oh. Seems like you really need to train properly. You don't have any common sense at all. How useless. Feng Linger said with contempt. Ha, little second, quickly help your master wash her claws. I'll go to the kitchen to watch the commotion. Old man Zhao ordered before pulling Lin Liang along to watch the commotion. Miss Feng, please extend your claws. The second elder came to Feng Linger with the basin in his hand sadly. Wash properly and cleanly. Feng Linger sat down on the table and stretched out her two little claws in front of the second elder as she ordered. Okay. The second elder carefully held Feng Linger's claws, which were thinner than his fingers, and carefully washed them. Boo-hoo. In fact, he was very afraid of this violent bird, so he was especially careful when he washed it because he was afraid that Feng Linger would set him on fire again if she was displeased. Wash here, and here, Feng Linger kept instructing the second elder, as if she was dissatisfied with his service. Miss Feng, is this all right? The second elder was so tired that he was about to collapse. He had never known that serving a little bird and washing its claws was so tiring. Boo-hoo. He had to help massage its feet later. At the thought of this, he even wanted to bang his head against the wall. Just barely. Feng Linger said with dissatisfaction. Ah. What should we do next? The second elder asked helplessly. A foot massage. Don't tell me you forgot it so quickly. What a lousy memory. Feng Linger mocked with dissatisfaction. But I don't know how. The second elder deliberately acted as if he was in a difficult situation, hoping to escape this calamity. You don't know how. Then I'll teach you. Feng Linger smiled evilly and spat out a ball of flame. She threw it up and down with a small wing as if it was her toy. She did not throw this ball of flame at the second elder, but it created a huge burden and fear in his heart. The second elder stammered, scared speechless. Boo-hoo. This violent bird was really too evil. It knew that he was afraid of fire, but it still scared him like this. How is it? Little second, do you know how to do it now? Feng Linger said with a spurious smile. The expression on her face seemed to be saying, do you still need me to teach you? Yes, yes. The second elder said fearfully. Boo-hoo. This bird was obviously not as strong as him, but why was he so afraid of it? He really couldn't understand no matter how hard he thought. Then let's begin. Feng Linger said indifferently as she played with the small flame. All right. The second elder suppressed his fear and held Feng Linger's little claws in his trembling hand. He massaged it while staring at the ball of flames, afraid that the ball of fire would run to him if Feng Linger missed. Little second, you're not concentrating. Feng Linger narrowed her eyes with some dissatisfaction. Ah. Concentrating. I'm very focused. The second elder hurriedly said. Boo-hoo. How could he be blamed? Who could be so focused if they were threatened like this? Little second, I'll say it one last time. If you continue to be so absent-minded, I'll turn you into a grilled pig. Feng Linger threatened bluntly. I'm very focused. The second elder was so scared that cold sweat was flowing down his face, and he hurriedly promised. Moreover, he didn't even dare to raise his head after being threatened by Feng Linger. Now, his eyes were now solely on that pair of extremely small claws. Oh, gently. Do you want to break my claws? Feng Linger frowned with some displeasure. Ah. I'm sorry. I didn't do it on purpose, second elder said aggrievedly. He didn't use much strength at all. Boo-hoo. The second elder was massaging the soles of a little bird very sadly. The others were not doing much better either. They were also tormented badly. In the kitchen. Old man Zhao gloated as he looked at the disheveled 15th elder and laughed happily, agitating him non-stop. 15. Why are you so useless? You can even burn down half the kitchen by starting a fire. Alas. You have to pay a lot of money now, right? Ahem ahem. The 15th elder was already choked by the smoke and couldn't speak. He could only cough to express his dissatisfaction. 15, you have to move faster. There are so many people outside waiting to use water. Moreover, it's going to be lunch later. You can't move at this speed. Old man Zhao said worriedly. There were more than a dozen stoves in the kitchen of the inn, but only 2 of them really lit the fire. Half of the remaining dozen were burned by the 15th elder. As for the other half, they were also wet when they put out the fire just now, so they probably couldn't light the fire anymore. Ahem. The 15th elder kept coughing, anxious and angry, but he couldn't say anything. Little Hong. Why don't you call another elder over? 15th can't handle it. Old man Zhao turned to the 3rd elder beside him. I'll try. The 3rd elder frowned and said with some difficulty. All the waiters in the inn were on leave today, and these elders were too slow, so work was impossible to handle. Alas. He really didn't expect the elders of the Lan family to be so useless. It seemed like there was no need to count on the inn's business for the next few days. Chapter 474, Take the Money and Leave. 3. The third elder left the kitchen and looked around, but he didn't find any elder who was free. He returned a while later, a little dejected. Little Hong, did you find anyone? Old man Zhao asked the advisor. There is no one free. The third elder said dejectedly. Little Hong, aren't there many elders in the Lan family? Why don't you transfer a few more? Old man Zhao suggested with a smile. Ah. Then I'll go back and try. The third elder said with some uncertainty. To be honest, he really wanted to get some more people. Otherwise, he was very afraid that he would have to go on the battlefield himself if there were not enough people. The third elder left after speaking. After third elder left, the supervisor naturally landed on Old Man Zhao. Old Man Zhao looked around for a while and waited for third elder to return not long later. Little Hong, you're so capable. You actually brought so many elders here, Old Man Zhao praised as he looked at the 10 elders following behind the third elder with the word unwilling written on their faces. Hee, this is all thanks to the patriarch's full support, third elder said shyly. Alas. There was no choice. He would have to do it himself if he didn't get some people over. Boo-hoo. Yes. Little Hong, I'll leave their posts to you. Old Man Zhao said generously. He would not interfere with the third elder's work. Hee. I've already arranged it, third elder said. Not too shabby. Hurry up and get them on duty then. Old Man Zhao urged. The two of you stay here to help the 15th elder. The others, follow me. Third elder left the kitchen with the other elders after instructing. When night came, the elders, who had worked for the entire day, gathered in the living room, were all so tired that they lay on the ground, not wanting to move at all. Hey, get up. Look at yourselves now. You're the elders of the Lan family's old group. Old Man Zhao roared furiously. However, no one bothered with him. Little second, you didn't do any heavy work. Why are you like them? Old Man Zhao's gaze turned to the second elder, only to see him lying on the ground like a dead dog with his arms in the same position. I gave Miss Feng a day of massage. Boo-hoo, the second elder wanted to cry. His arms were so sore that they were stiff, and he didn't have any strength left in him. He couldn't even stand up except for lying down. Did a mere massage tire you out so much? You're so useless. Old Man Zhao said disdainfully. Yes, I'm useless. Whoever is useful can do it. I really can't do this job anymore, second elder said with a slight sob. He didn't even have the strength to cry now. That won't do. Your Lan family owes us so much money, and you're using it to repay your debts. It's only been a few days. Can't you hold on anymore? What should we do in the future? Old Man Zhao said worriedly. How much does our Lan family owe you? An elder couldn't help asking. Let me calculate. Old Man Zhao really counted with his fingers after speaking. You owe us 12,009,000 purple coins. We will round it down, just pay us 12 billion, Old Man Zhao said generously. All the elders lying on the ground fell silent when they heard this number. They directly pretended to be dead. Boo-hoo. It was so much. No wonder the patriarch couldn't bear to part with them. You won't be able to repay so much money in your next life. However, it's okay. You can pass this debt down to your descendants to complete it. Hee, this is a good idea. Old Man Zhao said happily, almost dancing with joy. The elders' eyes rolled back when they heard this, and they fainted directly from foaming at the mouth. Moreover, they were definitely really going to faint this time. Ah! The mental quality of the elders of the Lan family is really too poor. Old Man Zhao turned to look at the first elder and third elder and complained aggrievedly. He didn't say anything either. Why did these people faint? Yes. Their tolerance is indeed too poor, third elder said gloatingly. Anyway, it was fine as long as the person paying was not him. Little Hong. Look at them now. Can they still be on duty at night? Old man Zhao asked doubtfully. We have to do it even if we can't. Otherwise, there won't be anyone in the inn at night. The third elder thought fiercely. Hee, don't blame him for not having sympathy. These elders were really not his cup of tea. Therefore, he didn't care about their lives at all. But they've already fainted. Old man Zhao said reluctantly. They have to work as long as you are still breathing, the first elder said, directly sentencing these elders to death. Okay, I support you. Last linger, wake them up. Old man Zhao made up his mind and said decisively. No problem, leave it to me. I have the best way to deal with people who stay in bed. Feng Linger said cockily. After speaking, she directly spat out a flame at the elders lying on the ground. This flame was incomparably hot, and it woke them up from the pain as soon as it burned the elders. How could the elders care about being tired when they saw that their bodies were on fire? They immediately put out the fire in a hurry. Soon, the flames released by Feng Linger were extinguished by them. In fact, Feng Linger only wanted to wake them up. These flames looked fierce, but in fact, they were just loud thunder and small rain. They were not very lethal. They would at most be injured if they did not save them, and their lives would not be in danger. However, the elders were very afraid of death, so they easily fell into Feng Linger's trap and jumped around happily. Moreover, they had no excuse to not work at night. Last Linger, you did well. Old man Zhao praised. Yes, of course. They are lively again now. They can continue working tonight. Little Second, give Rise a massage tonight. Feng Linger ordered with a naughty smile, you're tuning in to the Blissful Bookshelf YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.